So, unless, Raymond, you are done with your story. Thumbnails are super easy. So this is literally how I make the thumbnail. So I go to Twitter, go to Grok, and I say, I have this story. Can you make thumbnail for YouTube for me? And then you go like this, and you go grab your story. So let's grab letter number 2. Sure. And then it's going to give us something. So, dark urban street scene at night, foggy neon light cityscape. So we take this, eerie. And then we go here, and we go image. And then we try to find something. Ooh, okay, yeah. Yeah, nice foggy, epic night. I like this one. But I think we need more of an alleyway, right? But we need, like, people there. So, like, that one has a watermark on it. That's just kind of an overlay, right? So it's just kind of... I mean, there's that one. Day 69 asking Scotty to watch the video I left on Discord. Wait, you left a video on Discord? Or is that just a meme? Because I miss everything that's on Discord. I mean, that one's pretty good. Yeah, honestly, like, there's some good ones here. So let's just take this one. So we just go save image as. And we just go walk alley neon spook. E. Just because. And then we go to Canva. And we take our picture. Drop it into Canva. And then we go, okay, well, what do we get for the titles for it? So we've got the voice in the machine. So we just take that, we go here, we go add a heading. The voice in the machine. We want this. I like either this, or this. Maybe we could do this one. So we do this, pick our color. At this point, we're going to do white with like a leaky kind of purplish. Take this, go there, like that. I kind of want this a little bit bigger. So maybe kind of like that. And since we can't do bold on it, can we do effects? And if we want to make it bolder, we can take this, and we can make them both the same color. Maybe not so much so. It's a little bright. Hold on, let's take... maybe that's just because it's highlighted. Let's just try it and see. I mean, maybe we can work with that. Let's see. Copy and paste, and then I take it, and I put it at some kind of angle. Like that. And then we'll just take this, and we're going to change the color to, like, this kind of purplish. There. And that's literally as easy as it is. And then you can just kind of go from there, right? You're like, okay, well, what color kind of goes with it? What will be good? And then you have, like, they're watching me. So you could also take this and go like this. They're watching me. No, that didn't work. Kick that. Copy this over. now we need their watching. It's down here. Turn this color to maybe more of a yellow. Maybe like that. It's kind of directing your vision like here. And then we take this, go like this. Effects, turn that off. The color, white. There. You can even kind of move that around a bit, right? And just be like, maybe put it down here, up there. You could even cover over it, something like that. Right, and then you can even go like this. Which kind of doesn't actually do anything, so it's actually probably better to just have it like that. Ads! Oh, fucking ads. God damn it. Yeah, and there, boom. Easy thumbnail. I don't know how clickable it is. Okay, how about this? Oh, I have an idea. Can you rate my thumbnails on their clickability and attraction for YouTube? They are provided in attachments. So let's go here, take this, and get rid of that. Move this here, grab this, move this over, thumbnails. Is chess shorts letter 2. Okay, and then let's go attach, open, go. I'll be right back. I have to go. Yes! Alright, let's see what it says. Alright, each of the 10 thumbnails you provided based on clickability. How likely it is to draw clicks in the YouTube feed, factoring in thumbnail size, visibility in mobile, desktop, emotional hooks like curiosity or fear or attraction, overall visual appeal, relevance to your stories, tech horror, themes of AI consumption, missing people and sibling betrayal, and design polish. Ratings are on a scale of 1 to 10 for each with a brief explanation. Strengths, weaknesses, and suggestions. I prioritized elements like bold text, contrast, emotional imagery, shadows, circuits, brains, and alignment to your narrative's eerie 1950s futuristic vibe. Human hell head with circuits exploding, Soul score is 13. Number 2. Holographic brain, 16. Ooh, the robot surgery one? Really? Got 18? Shadowy half hallway figure. Okay, yeah, I like that one. 17. The zombie laptop is only 9. I'm back. Welcome back, Raymond. Apparently, like, we did pretty good, right? Like, that's a 9, that's a 9, that's a 9, that's an 8. That's bad, but that's okay. That's a 9, that's an 8, that's a 7 and an 8. That's pretty good. The 7 and a 7's not bad. A 9 and a 9 is fucking amazing. 6 and a 5's okay. 8 and 8's okay. 7 and 6 is okay. Got stuck on a loop. I don't know how. Fucking Twitch. Of course. So clickability and attraction. So we have a banger in the first story. We have an absolute fucking legend in the second story. And we have insane brutality in the third story. And then the final one is good. We actually have 2 in here that are really good. Holographic and the screaming and yeah. And they have the same AI thing too, so it's like this one's just bad. So it's like, should I just like redo this one and redo this one? You know, I could, but let's see how they actually rate. Right, we're not gonna take its word on it like 100 fucking %. Right, it needs to be at least a little bit. You know, you know, you can't go with what the AI says 100% of the time. That's just dumb. AI is not, you know, that's like trusting a person 100% of the time. Just, you know, you got to gauge it based upon the person. But now that we have no stories to read, we've caught up on everything, we've done all the research we need to do. Guys, I think it's finally time to watch fucking Soma versus Bisu. I am so excited! Let's do it. I'll be right back. I gotta go grab some food while we do the intro and everything like that.
What's up, everybody? We're here in the last day of the round of 4. I don't know if we can top the games that we already saw yesterday, but fingers crossed, man. And if anybody could do it, it would be these 2 guys. This is Bisu versus Soma.
This is an unbelievable match that we are going to be going into here. I actually think it probably will top yesterday. Like, I loved yesterday. It was completely amazing. But at the end of the day, you know, it was a 4-1 for Snow. He was relatively dominant. It was a good series. But when I look at this is like the greatest Protoss ever to have lived, who's in top form. His Protoss versus Zerg has looked second to none, and he's going up against the return of Soma. Soma has been so hungry while he's been in the military to get back into ASL. He was almost a champion before, and he just looks phenomenal. I've watched so many Soma games leading up to this tournament, where, like, my prediction, you know, I made one of those little YouTube videos of talking about the tournament. I was like, I think Snow or Soma will win. And Soma has a chance here to make finals on his first return. That's insane.
This is going to be so fun. I've got my fingers crossed here that Bisu advances. I would love to see Bisu win an ASL. Even just to have him in a finals would be huge. You know, you've got Flash, Jaedong, and Bisu, and those are like the 3 players, one of each race from that golden era of Starcraft 2, that 2008, maybe 2009, 2007 period. Right before Starcraft 2 came out. And there's a lot of nostalgia for those guys, so it would be incredible to see Bisu get into the finals here. But Soma might be able to take this. As strong as Bisu is from A to Z when it comes to this matchup,
yeah,
Soma is, I think, one of the hardest people to take on, especially in early game.
Yeah, I think his game theory is really second to none. He was the strategic leader of Zerg, which is it's like a big title, man. Because there is like a strategic leader generally of each race at a given time, right? We always have Flash for Terran that's kind of leading the metagame, and Soma was doing that before he went to the military. Like, this guy really understands. I've watched some of, like, I'm not a Zerg player, but I watch some translated Soma guides because the guy is so brilliant. And in fact, he was the first non-pro gamer to break into pro gamer ranks, and he's actually one of the best players in the world without question. When people are like, oh, are the pro gamers gatekeeping by only playing each other and not like letting others in? I'm like, you'll get in if you get good enough. That's what Soma did.
Yeah, that's very, very correct. That's actually kind of a funny question. Like, are they gatekeeping? I'm like, they don't care who's they're playing against. If they're really good, they need to practice, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty split down the middle here as far as who's going to take this, but it does lean towards Bisu, which is kind of funny because I think Artosis and I are in agreement. Like, I want Bisu to win, but I think maybe this is Soma favored, but I almost said flavored. Soma flavored game, but yeah, you know, let's see what happens here. Bisu obviously has been one of the greatest PvZers that's ever existed, but right now the Zergs are very strong in this matchup.
Yeah. You can see that the fans think Soma is going to win. As far as the pros go, I saw that for 4-0 it was Larva, but Larva is like Soma's buddy. Like, Larva's the guy that kind of convinced Soma to really go full-time at StarCraft. And then I saw Jadong say that Bisu would 4-0, which I think is kind of an interesting one. When I see something like that, I'm like, oh, probably Jadong was one of Bisu's top practice partners, and Bisu probably slammed him. You know, and Jadong's like, "Damn, dude! Like, you're gonna kill Soma." So, always interesting to see what those pros think. But when we got to discount the Terran names, I think, in there as well.
Yeah, what do they know, right?
They don't know.
All right, guys, we're going to be going into this match momentarily here. Soma versus Bisu in a best of 7. The winner goes off to face off against Snow here in the finals.
We're going through the round of 4 of ASL as only one spot in the grand final remains to be decided. Let's call today's 2 competitors on stage. Showered with praise as a strong contender for the title, he does not lose to Protoss at all. It's our Zerg player Soma. And his opponent, our Protoss, who has undergone an upgrade and returns in perfect form. The one to exterminate all of Zerg. It's Bisu. Only one more player will move on to the grand final here at Google Play ASL. For one, it would be 10 seasons, and 20 for the other. Who indeed will we see in the finals? Let's talk to our players. Please come a little closer. Fake Jadong, Soma. You've reduced all the Protoss to ash. And now, only Bisu remains. As you were practicing for this, what impression did you get? What sort of a match did you expect? Bisu is the Protoss GOAT, and he lives up to that title. The burden was quite real for me. I think he plays really well, so I prepared very diligently. GOAT? Yes. GOAT? Why are you laughing? Right, a GOAT who has been fighting for a title for 20 seasons. Bisu, you just heard what Soma said. He called you a GOAT and then gave us a little smile. Like he's about to enjoy a delicious meal. Bisu, what is on your mind? Soma has always had a way with words. Quite sarcastic, huh? But honestly, I took and acknowledged the fact that he is better than me. But I have this feeling, a feeling from way back, from when I was winning championships. He does win a lot, but I have confidence. I'm confident. In any case, I've always preferred playing versus Zerg compared to the other matchups. I feel confident in it, and I have an inkling I know what he feels he needs to do, so I'm confident. You've been born anew. You threw everything out, kept your mouse, and Bisu rises like a phoenix from the ashes. And your confidence, you know, as you were walking on stage, you had this aura of your past glory from the pro gamer days around you. I'm sure many people felt it. What do you think? The force you embodied back in the day on the final stage as you took down many a player to claim championships. To what degree do you think it's back? Oh, that's not the feeling I was talking about. Oh, that's not it? No, because, you know, it's been 3.5 years since I advanced this far. Honestly, another chance in 4 years? I won't have another one like this. I feel today is a very important match. Soma, you've made it into the finals of ASL, and you are a runner-up. This season, none of the semi-finalists have lifted an ASL trophy. This is a golden opportunity. Your opponent is Bisu. What do you think? Honestly, thinking about the finals won't do right now, because Bisu is a very real threat. So I didn't think about the finals matchup at all. I plan to utilize everything in my arsenal of builds in order to win. And if all those builds end up working successfully, what score do you predict today? I think I'll win 4-1. 4-1? Wow. Bisu? Soma predicts a 4-1. What are your thoughts on this?
Yo, perfect timing,
The
right?
first set is on Roaring Currents.
Perfect
and I was the one to pick
timing.
it. I will win.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm probably
Both
just
are
about to
predicting a
smack
4-1
each other
victory.
down and say, "Nah, I'm gonna win.
In that
I'm gonna
case,
win. You're gonna
before we
lose. I'm gonna
start,
win. Don't worry about
Let's
it."
have you guys address one another.
Yeah,
Starting
here we
with
go.
Soma, please tell Bisu what today's match is going to be like. It's an honor to face off against Bisu, but it will be me who moves on to the
Oh! So if Soma can win after coming back from the military, it's gonna be so crazy.
You know, his nickname is Fake J-Dog. I will show you what a fake he is. A face-off between real Bisu and fake J-Dog. Soma, do you have a response? In the ASL, we once played a best of 5 and he lost 2-3. I can still remember his face when he lost the last set on Sylphid. I'll make it so I can see that face again. Another long break? Bisu, please. Yeah, but I've been beaten
Beef
ever
dip
since.
meets Caesar salad.
I feel confident. Got it. The showdown between Soma and Bisu. Who will move on to the grand final? Please put your hands together and make some noise. It's time to start the match.
I'm fucking good. I'm so hungry.
히드라를 모아서 뛰는 것 자체가 공포스러울 겁니다. 하드코어 히드라 러시예요. 로스포닝 스레처리 벼락부상하고 정말 과감한
그런 박상현 미친 판단력을 보여주면서 이번 시즌 4강에 올라갑니다.
완벽한 컨디션에 김태용의 대저그전은 이 정도 수준까지 보여줄 수 있다는 것은 딜럿이 저승사자입니다.
Just like Snow's Reavers, it's gonna come down to Bisu's Corsairs.
위에서 태어난 프로토스가
True, Queen. We are venturing into the unknown.
This is it, everybody. We are hopping into this match. I'm so excited for this. Bisu versus Soma. This should be a real back and forth. I can't imagine that there is one player who would be super one-sided with a victory here at Tosis. I think this could go all the way to Game 7.
Yeah, I think there's a very good chance. Like, you know that it's not going to be a 4-0, 4-1 type of thing. That's, like, completely insane, and it just could not happen with these two players. But yeah, this is like old versus new right now. You know, I'm so excited because like every storyline from here is amazing. And imagine if Bisu wins an ASL. What would that even do to the scene? To have the greatest Protoss of all time come back to top form and be the champion.
I think it would be one of the best things that could happen to StarCraft. And
Says the
game's already
Protoss
great
player.
State. The viewership is through the roof for Soup, which is the biggest streaming platform in the company. StarCraft 1 is the most viewed game on it. Number 2 is League of Legends, in case you were wondering. Now, yeah, if Bisu wins, you know, we've talked about this with Jadong before, but it's the same rule applies with Bisu. They're from that same era. People are super nostalgic for players like Bisu. Bisu's stream is massive. It's always been massive. He's got a big following. But he was kind of a round of 16, round of 8 guy for a long time. He certainly had moments in ASLs where he got pretty far into the round of 4s even. But this does feel like if there was a tournament where he could win, an ASL season where he could take it, this could be it.
Yeah, we're right there. We're right on the doorstep. And the thing is, like, we're not even hitting his weak matchup. Like, I think his Protoss vs. Terran is probably his weakest. And his Protoss vs. Zerg is probably his strongest. So I'm looking at that. I'm like, this is a real good opportunity for Bisu to actually end up taking this down. His Protoss vs. Zerg has looked immaculate throughout this tournament. And he's been practicing really hard. Like, before last season, he actually took a bunch of time off streaming and was just grinding himself. And trying to get to that level. And he kind of had a disappointing season last season, but here he is in the round of 4. You know, it takes some time for that stuff to catch up to you, and I think that this is a great moment for him.
It's exciting, but it's not going to be easy. You know, Soma, I think, is one of the scariest Zergs out there, and even though Bisu probably has the best early game PvZ, I would also say Soma probably has the best early game ZVP.
That's a good way to put it.
Bisu,
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, the early game is going to be more important in the match between these two, more important than pretty much any other matchup we have here in ASL for the season, and probably many of the other seasons we have. Because Bisu, even when he loses, he doesn't look weak versus Zerg. You know,
certainly.
Occasionally he'll get overpowered early, but it's rare. When he pushes, he tends to close it out. He does a lot of games where he's just breaking bones on the Zerg throughout until eventually he finishes him off. But Soma's very decisive. He seems to do a lot of counter attacking. He knows really when to Hydra bust, when to like ramp up Hydra pressure and then turn it off. So this is going to be fun. I hope we do have some long games, some late games, because I think these two are interesting in that regard there as well. But especially the early game, I really want to see how they both open.
Yeah. I
One
really
down, one to go.
to that as well. Soma has really
I'm gonna
great
take as
play.
many dicks as you can throw at me.
Bisu is
I mean,
like,
what?
his Zealot movement is just different from everyone else's. His Corsair play is the best. I mean, he basically invented it anyways. He's actually maybe the most important player strategically in the entire history of this game. The game is like, what, 26 years old right now, 27 years old? He's literally like the most important player as far as developing the metagame.
Well, he basically pushed the whole matchup to a different level. I think it would have taken a long time if you had a bunch of other Protosses that had to lab this out, but he basically came out, first of all, learned how to fast expand safely and win, but second of all, learn how to basically pressure and attack and punish while doing that. One of the big dilemmas for Protoss was that if you fast expand, you're basically playing single player and trying not to get overwhelmed. You really give the map up to Zerg, but Bisu showed how to not do that. He knew exactly how to continue to trickle out across the map and attack and get in their face. And if the Zerg overmade, the Zerg got too aggressive or too defensive and made too many units, he just withdraws and continues to make probes and tech up. And he really mastered this in a way that I like what you said, Artosis. In some ways, he may be, as far as strategic evolution in StarCraft historically, maybe the most important person. Because PvZ was probably the most problematic matchup in the very early first few years of the game, because Protoss could not win if they couldn't fast expand. It started out with 2-gate Zealots into 1-gate Gas, you know, Zealot Corsair, weird stuff like that. And the reality is Zerg's always found a way around it. But Bisu did manage to eventually pull through and make it look almost too strong for Protoss.
Yeah. He really is kind of the father of the correct way to play Corsairs. Corsairs were just like a support unit before a lot of the time, and he kind of centralized them as the backbone of early game Protoss for Zerg. And he's still the best Corsair user. I don't think anyone would argue with that. The guy does not throw away his Corsairs. He does not let them just die at any point, so it's harder to go mute his later game against him. He's just God, man. He's such a god. And I've said this a million times, but I'll say it again. You know, back when I first moved to Korea, I used to go around with a video camera and get a lot of behind the scenes with pro gamers. And I've watched basically all the top pros from that old era of 2008, 2009 play. And standing behind people, Bisu was the most impressive I ever saw play the game. Just watching his screen move, the way he juggles everything. And the thing is, the next Protoss was like rank 70 for impressiveness. Like, he is just a different level.
Well, he was... I think the balancing act is hard to appreciate in PvZ, what you need to be doing, because when you're pressuring, you have like 1 or 2 units doing it, right? You've got 1 or 2 Zealots or a DT or, you know, a few Corsairs, but if you bungle that,
Beef dip,
lose total control.
meat, Caesar salad.
Be very good at
So it's a beef
staying
dip
back
with
in
Caesar
tech.
salad
In
on top.
PvZ, you can't really miss a single beat in your build order. I guess that's true for all the matchups, but, you know, Protoss, they've got to get Storm out. They've got to get the Robo out with the Observers. They've got to get Dragoon Range out. They really
I
can't
put my
miss a
entrees
single
and my
beat. That's
appetizers
really
together
challenging when
all
you're
of the
also
time.
doing pressure play like this. And Bisu is just so good. His Corsairs are always moving. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. But again, I think Soma is a really, really smart player early on.
Yes.
And we're going to see, especially in the first maybe 2 or 3 games, how exactly Bisu wants to approach this. Because these guys have faced off many times in ASL.
I don't know what you mean by like
and
what.
for great games. They know each other very well. They obviously play in competitive online matches all the time. So they know each other in and out. But now it matters more than ever, guys. This is the second day here of the round of 4. The winner of this best of 7 goes up against
What other
Snow,
things have you
go to the
made?
finals
Oh!
of the ASL Season 20.
Mat fries. You take frozen fruit, like blueberries, strawberries, pineapple. Get a tray of fries. Put the fries on it.
Okay,
Put it in the oven for 10 minutes.
Soma
Put the
here
frozen fruit on it.
and Bisu in the bottom. Both
Put it in the
players on
oven
that
for
side
10
of
minutes.
the map.
Put cheese on it.
And I
Put it
wanna
in the
see,
oven
you
for
know,
5 minutes.
Will Bisu go for the forward
Mat fries.
expand? This is a map where you can cannon rush. Although, to be honest, I feel like we don't see Bisu cannon rush very often,
No.
if almost ever.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite of best. Are we going to see the
You'd be
gateway
surprised.
expand, which I think Bisu probably does more than pretty much any other Protoss now. You know, it's funny because he's known for, you know, advancing the Forge expand play and making it work back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in like 2007, 2006. But really, in the modern era, he's kind of moved past that. He seems to. Oh, we love.
You
you
take
too.
your garlic
Nice
bread
duelist.
and your
these are
lasagna,
for
and you
cooking.
carve out the garlic bread. Put the lasagna in it.
The truth is,
Put the
nowadays,
bread block on
Bisu
top,
tends to almost
slap it
exclusively go
together.
for gateway pressure.
It's about that
Yeah.
shit. You can do the same thing
Well,
with a steak.
That plays towards his strength.
Or,
you know, I tried
what's
to
another good
describe
thing?
it in his match against Larva.
You can do it with chili.
Chili's
Chili's another really good one you can do with that.
Where you can apply pressure just by moving units correctly. And I feel like he does that aspect of Zealot pressure better than all the other Protosses. I think Mini is the only one even close to him in that regard, but like just the way he moves them, it's not even about microing and kiting lings and stuff. You know, obviously that's part of it, and how to target drones, that's part of it. But
Blessed be love and light, and may you have a stunning stream. You're rocking it. Hell yeah, pork chops. Thanks. I'm just sitting here watching StarCraft, eating food.
He does this to gain an advantage because that's a tricky thing about playing against Zerg, and a tricky thing about playing Zerg as well. Don't forget, drones and units come from the same larva. So much of the game is trying to pressure Zerg, and Zerg trying to eke out drones whenever they
Mashed
can.
potatoes, mustard, and pickles.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my god! You dip the pickles in the like if you get mashed potatoes, you get butter and mustard. You mix it all together.
Finding out new tricks or new angles.
Then you grab a pickle,
you know,
and you fucking dip that shit.
Happens,
Oh my god! You can even like cut little pieces of bacon or ham, or like do like a twice baked potato and then dip it in it. Oh my god, so good.
Different guides with pros having different ideas. So this game, he is going to send the first zealot out, and
but the weirdest is probably definitely map fries,
just making 4 lings.
And the best is definitely the lasagna sandwich.
2 lings come out, then you want to keep applying pressure and sending these out. And then, to make sure that you're safe, what Protosses do is they have 1 probe and a zealot block the ramp, and they have 1 zealot basically guard the pylon and the gateway as the 3rd zealot is going to pop out.
Yeah, we've seen this dance many times. Soma goes towards the ramp there. You know, space ramps are just a little bit more wide, so sometimes there's a little bit of wiggle room, but he decides to turn around and just runs out.
But I bet I can prove something. So, do you guys like anchovies?
So we see
fucking ads
harass coming in here, and right now you still don't know what kind of game this is. It could be a layer coming, could be link speed being made even right now. It could be a den starting. But you need to make sure that you know whether or not the den's there. If the den does go down, then you know you're in a very specific type of game. Hold on, the lings are going to try to run through here. Now notice how the probe is far back, the zealots up front, but they both block. Because he wants to make it impossible for more than 1 link to hit that probe.
How do I get my earbuds out?
And a layer is going to go
I'm sorry to rip them out.
Alright, so layer and 3 hatch. The probe is still alive, so he's got good intel as far as that goes. Looks like a very standard opener on both sides so far. Nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. The forge, of course, is in the main base. He's just making sure that he's not going to lose any of his upgrades.
That did not work
I think
at
that's
all.
something we'll probably see repeatedly here today from Bisu. But yeah, I like that we're opening with just kind of a standard game on a pretty standard map of Radeon.
Yeah, nobody's deviated from the norm. We do have the Stargate coming down. And, you know, we have that, you know, with the Forge being safe, like you were saying, Artosis, the upgrades can't be picked off here. And this is looking like a very textbook game. So right now it feels almost like it's feeler builds on both sides. Nobody trying to pull the rug out from the other. Nobody trying to blindside the other. Instead, we're just going to develop into a macro game.
And I wonder if we're going to see the double Stargate play at all. Because, of course, that's been developed.
That is exactly what I fucking needed.
I don't feel like this is a good situation.
That was some damn good food.
Like, even though it's like a quick spire and everything, like, Soma doesn't seem to me to be someone where the double Stargate is going to be particularly good against him. I think he's more thought out on how to counter strategies than most of the other Zergs. It's not... It doesn't feel like Soma uses a lot of feel during the game. I feel like he's got really good decision trees and very good understanding of what his goals are and his priorities.
To go on the point that you were making earlier, Artosis, there are builds now where you'll go for no Stargate, like you'll go for Zealot speed really fast or a DT really fast, and then go double Stargate later. Yeah. And that's not happening here, but we should keep that in mind. It's kind of a way to like bait them into going for mutas and then just hard countering it and shutting it down. In this game, by the way, Soma got a layer, but he also got a den. And he is getting the Spire here. So it's one of these games where I don't know if the den was just for optics. Like if that gets scouted, if you get up there, you go, oh God, it's a Hydra Rush or something. But he is going for a second gas on his 3 bases. So he's definitely teching up, you know, into air. He's going to be somewhat committed. I don't think that, well, you know, one thing about Soma, I think he makes mutas more in this matchup than anybody else. Is that true? Him and Larva, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Larva is technically the muta king in the matchup, but yeah, I think Soma does make mutas really, really regularly. I'd actually add True to that as well. True almost never has a game without a lot of mutas in it, but yeah, Soma, I think, much more than some of these other guys, like much more than Queen or Soulkey, for instance.
So he's getting air weapons, and this is probably the most common build that we see Bisu do. Complete all the way up to the second gateway at the natural. is he likes +1 attack Zealots and +1 attack Corsairs off of a fast expand build. And he'll get a Templar Archives. He makes the second gateway in the natural because if things got out of control with mutas, you can morph an Archon safely in your nat. But yeah, I think, one thing about Bisu, he does do a lot of the same builds. And this is just a strong way to play. It doesn't have any obvious weaknesses. Now, someone's going to try to come in here and shut this down. There's only one cannon here. I can't
Oh my god.
Did he just get Ogre Zerg Gamer? My god. What is this?
Ogre Zerg Gamer! Been a while since we heard that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Saw the Scourge coming and committed onto the mutas, so he must have miscalculated somehow. And I've seen this with Bisu sometimes, and it's really weird, where it looks like what he's doing is wrong, and then he wins. But this is clearly not one of those games.
Or maybe not. I mean, he's just sending his
And
Zealots.
I don't know how much is back here, but this feels like it's a lot of Zealots, man.
Yeah.
Like, the drones are going to block, but there's not even that many drones to help out.
Well, there's
He's even got
plenty
the
of
+1 on them, of
wings, and
course,
he's been
with those
He's been
legs, so
blocking
he's able
the.
to shred these Zerglings,
Yeah.
but the mutas are taking out his Nexus. Now, luckily,
Yeah.
he does have the 2 gates down at the
No,
natural,
that's
but when you
GG.
see someone making Dragoons to clear mutas, you know they're in trouble.
Yeah, well, there's nothing worse. You have to get Dragoons here because there's just nothing else that fights air. And Dragoons, like, they don't counter mutas.
No.
They're tanky, so they don't die right away, but, like, they're not great. So he's going to send this Corsair back. Now, +1 is done, but who cares, right? I mean, there's not enough Corsairs in the game for this to matter.
Yeah, Soma attacked
Yeah,
so fast.
just
He was
real
so
quick here,
aggressive.
He targeted the mutas. He knew the Scourge were coming in here, and he might do that because he knows that the Corsairs don't have enough to one-shot, or sorry, to two-shot the Scourge, but kind of a curious moment. Now, he's still fighting back, and I mean, 2 mutas, look, I mean, if you have 2 more Dragoons that pop out, you can start to really fight this off.
But look at this.
He's 5 Mutalisks
I think
come in.
Soma has played this just correctly. I'm really surprised that he was able to jump on the cannon like that and clear those Corsairs quickly enough. And I think this is like a great first game for Soma in this series. This is definitely not something Bisu had anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He couldn't
Well, I
get
think,
them,
you know,
but
Bisu
it is what
never
it
really
is.
loses like this, and usually what keeps you safe in a moment like this is a second cannon.
Oh! Oh, the micro!
You can't get value
The
out of that.
micro! They tried to chicken
And
each
with the
other,
Nexus
and it did
dying,
not work.
I do not blame
It did
Bisu.
not work. There goes the Nexus.
They
Probably
did not
GG
play
now.
well up here.
Yeah,
just-
it's
You also
over.
don't
Bisu's just like, alright, what do I do in the next
make
game?
infrastructure
He's
either.
literally
So it's like,
only thinking about the next game. He's like, yeah, it doesn't
Got a lot
matter
of
right
probes
now.
alive, it's still hard to make this work.
What am I gonna
And
do?
look at that, the mutas.
What
just
is he
fighting
gonna
the
do next
Corsairs
now that
anyways.
he's done
Really,
this?
Soma can do anything at this point. He could make Hydras at home and be totally fine. He could expand again. There's no way for a beast to put any pressure. So I do think we're going to see him tap out here momentarily. It doesn't, I mean, Soma's like younger than him too and has a good mentality. So I don't even think you can tire him out or something. You know, I don't see any world in which staying in this game any longer helps Bisu.
Kind of crazy to see Bisu taken out by the the Ogre Zerg Gamer move, as we call it. You know, the mass Muta Scourge kind of blindsiding the Protoss and then throwing him out of his own main base. So Bisu is still fighting. He is going to try.
Maybe
to make
Bisu
this-
thinks
I
he's
don't
only
think
on
there's a
2
world where he can
bases.
stabilize, but
As soon as he sees
Soma
third base, watch him
overextended.
GG. As soon as he sees the third base, and he goes, "Oh
Yeah, I
shit!"
guess, like,
He
if
has
he
3
tries to
bases.
kill him
The
in the
fuck?
natural with cannons or something, but look at this. Goes after these Dragoons. You know, there's only a couple Corsairs here, so those aren't going to help all that much. Look at this, even trying to kill off that cannon a little bit. In the meantime, back at home, you know, Soma's got 50% more supply, even more than that. Making a few extra units, making a few extra drones. He looks completely unbeatable from this spot. I'm really surprised
He
that
can't
Bisu
build a
is
Nexus,
trying to
can he?
recover this game, honestly.
I swear, he blocked the Nexus. He can't even build a
Fit
Nexus.
a Nexus there?
No, he
The
can't.
cannon looks like it's low.
Yeah,
Kinda
can't.
does sound like
Weird
it's
work.
low.
Yeah, he
Oh,
couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh no!
Oh, dude.
Oh,
I wouldn't have killed that kid, I
no.
would have left.
Oh.
I bet you
No,
would've
it
left
wasn't
and then-
blocked. No, you're
I
wrong.
would have argued with Caster Park and asked me, like, no, you're an idiot. This is not blocked. I
No, it
know
did.
I know what I'm doing.
But I mean, did I make that Nexus really? Like, I'm not going to come back in this game.
You guys want to cast that game? I mean, come on. So the Scourge are chasing him down. Now, with really good control, you can finesse this, but, you know, The Scourge can zone you.
I think
so
I
bad.
think Bisu thinks that Soma
I
was
can't
all
believe he's
in.
this game still.
If
Yeah,
Bisu saw the
I
third
mean,
base, I think
that's
Bisu would
wild.
instantly
The best
GG.
of 7.
I feel like he's just hoping Soma stays on mutas and tries to kill with that. And he might be thinking like, oh, you know, if I suddenly get a huge tempo advantage with the Corsairs, it becomes a somewhat playable game. But there's Hydras being made right now. Like, if he had vision, he would leave the game.
Yeah.
Okay, it almost looked like it worked too, when he just
Almost.
committed down onto the mutas, you know. I mean, it's funny, he's going to potentially lose the Stargate if another wave of Mutalisks come in here.
He might even be able to get
So
it.
that's
He
what's
might
happening.
be
He's gonna
able
keep
to.
targeting
Oh
down
no!
because the Dracoons don't have
Oh.
enough shots left.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh, it's one hit. It's one Muta hit.
One shot from death. So Bisu's game is going according to plan.
Oh my god,
It's
that
weird
was
watching
great.
this all pan out
He
like this.
destroyed it and
Gotta
just
be ready
made a new
to protect your main.
necklace.
Like you said
It's like,
earlier, you know,
fuck this.
the start of the series.
Not leaving it at 1 HP. He just
Early game
GG's.
the most. GG.
Yeah, see, he saw third base and he was like, oh yeah, he's not all in. Fuck.
Strongest in their respective matchup for PvZ.
He's like, please have 7 drones. Please have 7 drones. Fuck.
PvZ. No one comes close to Soma early game PvP. Maybe Sulky sometimes, but Sulky seems to be a lot more passive in the early game.
Yeah.
Compared to Soma. Soma's a very in-your-face player.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely would agree with that. I think he does have the most complete early game. And, yeah, Bisu, Mini's the only guy that kind of begins to approach the way that he plays.
Carbot Hydralisk.
So Soma takes map 1. This game is definitely not indicative of how this series is going to look, though. It's
Yeah,
not like
this
Soma's
was
just
the one-off
gonna
game.
with ogres
But you know what they
over
say?
and over.
The person who
I remember
wins
when
the
you
first
described
games,
this is so funny. It's like you
60%
fly
of the
the
time
and then
wins
Scourge
the
come while you target
series.
cannons.
That's just a
Yeah,
statistic.
you just lose every
Usually the
time.
win rate is between 40 to 46%. So that's an insanely high percentage of people that win the first game that win the
The idea
series.
is he wants to snowball the damage.
Yeah.
By the way, when you see this coming in, you want to make like 4 or 5 cannons, like spread out in your main. Mutas and Scourge don't.
I
have
don't know if
vision.
that
I'm
statistic
not
takes
saying
into
someone
account
lost
4
to
O's,
this,
3
but,
O's.
you know, if you just have a spread of
And
cannons,
2
maybe you can
O's.
recover, and then you have to start Dragoons to 2 gateways. But, you know, can you really blame someone for doing that? Chills, Artosis, chills.
Chills! I got
You know what chill
chills!
means.
It's so funny. But yeah, I mean, the mains are close together. It's a short turn distance. Why not pounce in the main? And that means Soma's up 1-0. We're taking a short break. Coming up next is the map Dominator.
Dominator. Yeah, I will. No, she
That's
can
just
me.
for optics. I
She
think
can
I think
me,
it was.
bro.
I
I'm a
think it threw
bottom.
Bisu off a little bit. That's kind of like the cheapest trick you can possibly do, you know, is to throw down a Hydralisk Den when you're going mutas. I can't tell you how many times In Control used to beat me with that. He just, like, my SCV's there and
Dude,
throw it down, and
I
then
was
mutas
thinking-
fly into my base. And I'm like,
Literally, the late Jeff In Control Robinson beat me several times where I'd see a den and go, oh, and then mutas would fly in my base,
Yeah.
and I go, okay, I see what you did there.
I'm like, wow, you're pretty good, man. It's like,
Yeah, I guess you are.
Foreigners!
Um,
Foreigners!
use like
Non-Koreans.
such a simple trick, and I mean, it's a little bit cathartic, honestly, to watch Bisu lose to that.
Well, I mean, it works, right? You see the den, and you might think, okay, well, I've better get ready for anything but, you know, that muta buzz to come in there.
And the mutants come in. Ha ha, sucker!
You see that at the natural.
Gotcha.
I think that's one of the things.
He
If they're gonna
gotcha,
somebody's
bitch!
gonna be there. Doesn't mean you don't react to it, but I don't know. I'm
That's a
not
good
even
point.
sure when and if he scouted it though. I wasn't really following the early game.
Yeah, he had
like
a
that,
he had a
to look for
probe
that.
up there. He had a probe up there, so
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he saw it.
So we're gonna go to Dominator here for map 2, and let's see what happens. Is Bisu gonna gateway open again here, or and of course is Soma gonna go for Hydras, maybe Mutas again, or is it gonna be more of a standard game? Let's find out. Okay, Soma here in the bottom left, Bisu in the center right. as we go into game 2 here in this best of 7. As always, guys, consider signing up for the Patreon, patreon.com/ASL English. We would love to earn your support. There's going to be 2 seasons of ASL every year. I think forever.
Forever!
This going away.
Forever!
Is it a healthier,
We had 1 year of
better scene
SSL because they
really been in?
rebranded to Soup instead of
And
Africa,
viewership's through the
which is the
roof.
stupidest
We're
thing,
loving
but
bringing
Korea's
this to you
not
guys.
best
You know,
on
there's so
brand
many great
awareness
esports titles out there,
for
but
marketing
I think
purposes.
none hold a candle.
So I was like,
to
ooh, a new
the
tournament SSL, and I was like,
PUBG
wait, this is the
best
ASL.
StarCraft
What?
War.
Fuck.
That is a fact.
Well, that's what happens
No
when you
question
change
there.
over
I mean, this is
ownership.
It's so entertaining still. I don't
change
know
up your
what
brand.
is possibly wrong with me, but my whole family thinks.
And then they
they're
lost
so
the Hot
for
6.
just the amount of time I still
The Hot
spend on this game.
6!
Like, that's still
No,
what you
give
do,
us back
is
the
you
Hot
just play that. It's been like
6!
literally 26 years of non-stop, just like, no, this is it, you know.
And it just keeps getting better and
I
better
don't think,
every
there's
year.
That clip of us at WCG 2005. And
The documentary, yeah.
that little documentary clip. And I say in it, I'm going to play StarCraft probably till I'm 50.
No.
And I'm 42 tasteless, and I'm like, oh, I was actually undershooting.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I'm going to play this game till I die or my wrists give out. It's like
Yeah.
not even a
Well, when
question. I
you're
just
that
know.
young.
You don't change that much in your 40s, you know? Like, I am the person I am, and I'm just going to play it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, also we will be here when we're 50 as well. That's the funny thing.
Oh, easy, yeah.
By the way, Forge Expand here. This is an early pool. Well, I shouldn't say early pool. It's a pool before hatchery. Not that
He
there's
got
a
the
great
block.
map to cannon rush on here.
But he's got the second drone out there
So
anyways.
he's going to come down. And
Yeah,
when
it
you
didn't
see
matter
there's
which
no
one he put
hatchery,
where,
over there,
but
even
he
when
always
there's
wants to
one
block
made
at
here,
least
you
one of
know
them.
that This is going to be pool first.
Makes
So,
it just
I
the
think
tiniest bit
rush
annoying.
distances, are pretty close on this map. I feel like a lot of times you have to get a cannon early. But let's see. You know, he throws a pylon down to basically buy time. By the way, Bisu going with a very classic build and one that he basically taught an entire generation of Protoss players to play PvZ with. He was the originator of this, but he's using modern placement. He's got the forge tucked back, the cannon on top of the forge so that he can have the gateway sticking out in the front.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot lately. You know, if you're not making your forge in your main base to kind of tuck it back and just prevent yourself from losing those attack upgrades, really important. It's like one of the most crucial things is like if there's a 3-hatch Hydra bus that you hold, if they still get the forge, it's like, oh, okay, that's makes the position much more playable for them. So we've definitely seen that evolution.
It came late, and I remember the first time I saw it played. I don't remember which year this was. I remember saying it was a mistake. I had never seen anybody place that there. And I thought, oh, that's too bad, but it's probably fine. And then I watched, like, it happened a couple games. Then I saw Hydra Bus come, and I went, oh, wow, it's way stronger against that. That cannon's much harder to reach.
True.
So, yeah, Bisu, for now, going to be going with that Forge Gateway into Pylon Gas build here. And Soma, right now, you know, it looks ordinary. He did do something a little bit deceptive in Game 1 by squeezing out that Hydra Den and putting it in plain sight, and then going for the Mutascourge kill move, which worked ultimately in Game 1. Game 2, we still don't know exactly what it's going to be. Again, I would not be shocked if we see Bisu go for +1 attack Zealots with +1 attack Corsairs. That generally, that build order lines up a little bit better if you go Gateway opening versus Forge first opening. But I have seen Bisu do iterations of it where he does that too.
Well, you know, after watching that first game, I feel like I have no idea what to expect, which is that makes Soma's opener even that much better for Game 1. I feel like that's like a really powerful way to play a best of 5 or a best of 7, is to do something pretty aggressive in Game 1 to set the tone. Because, like, Greed never sets the tone that much. You're like, okay, yeah, maybe they got away with it, but the thing is the game goes long.
And then it kind of becomes something else, right?
aggressive
Oh, he
in
missed
some
the
way and gets
attack!
kill,
He
that
missed the
really
attack
sticks
on the
in your mind
drone.
as something you have to watch out for.
I love the Zealot tucked back here. And the Lings are going to come down here and try to fight as best they can. And Bisu's going to send 2 more out. He's got them forked out into 2 different directions. So
He brings them back.
Split these up and see if he can do another wedge over here. We have one Stargate here.
Yeah, he's gonna bring one
He
back,
did
and he's gonna
show
do one to
zealot,
scout to see if the Zerglings go around.
Sorry, 2 Zealots to the Overlord, and then he actually secretly sent one back.
Ah.
So he's going to have one back here to defend. Very subtle. And, you know, if there is pressure coming out here, he can always send that Zealot into the main and try to kill some drones. And you'd be surprised how often Bisu gets a lot of kills with that. And in this game so far, it's Spire into a second gas. Now, I don't know if we're going to see a den right away here. No, it's going to just be another Hydra den. So this build looks a lot like the build that we saw in Game 1, minus the Hydra den, which was basically just a red herring as far as tech goes.
That's interesting. If he does like kind of the same thing here once again, that would be a pretty
At least he
tricky
got
move.
the drone
Now,
that time.
Zealot
It would have
gets in,
been
gets
2 drones,
one
like
drone kill,
one
and of
drone
course
for
we'll
one
run into
Zealot.
that little nook and
one
Zerglings as
Zerg,
well.
really.
The Corsair coming down. We'll be able to scout
It
basically
evens
the
out.
timing of the Spire. Will he check that second gas of the natural though?
Yeah, he doesn't go in there. It's become more popular to just try to kill an Overlord on the periphery and then try to get back. We used to see a lot more people dive into the natural. And so you can always get an Overlord kill, even when Scourge are supposed to pop out and run away, if it's one of the Overlords that's pulling away from the initial scout. He's going to go for a second one here, too, and this is a little bit risky.
Double Hydra Den! Double Hydra Den!
Oh, very, very sneaky. Almost
This
the
is
exact opposite of what we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, so this is very rare and very, very strong. So what he's doing is he's showing mutas and he's showing Scourge, and behind it he's going for Hydra speed and Hydra range.
It's a fake out.
And you know this.
It's an absolute fake out.
If this best of 7 might be like a Michelin-starred 7-course meal where you eat this food and then that sets you up for the next dish they bring out.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he did the Ogre Zerg gamer play of Muta Scourge kill move, and this one he's faking it into a Hydra bust is so sick.
Soma
Yeah,
could fucking win,
that,
dude.
That is such a smart.
If it's
mind
Soma
game.
versus
I think right now Bisu, like he did make the cannon
Snow,
in the base. He's sitting back really.
that's going to
really
be an
defensively.
insane finals.
Will this Hydra bust actually be able to catch him off guard though? Like,
Yeah.
he's waiting for these mutas to come in, but he's going to notice that this is not a full committal.
Yeah, so he's going to show
You're like,
these-
where's
he's
like
gonna run
9
back
mutas?
almost-
What is
He
this?
might even wanted to make that look like it was a bad rally, like they got in a little bit too fast and they're going to regroup. But here come the Hydras. Now, somebody might ask, why don't you always do this? It looks really strong. Because technically Protoss can always hold the Hydra bust if they're just ready.
Yeah.
They played a stable game. So the Hydras are going to come up now. Now, when you go for Mass Corsair, you have less Templars. Your Storm is a little bit later. So he's going to come out. He's going to plow in here with these Zealots and get as many kills as he can, because he knows he just has to buy time for more of these cannons to try to finish up here. And honestly, he's doing a great job. I mean, these are very, very low HP. You know, a couple more Hydras, he might be able to bust this. I'm not so sure. More
Yeah.
cannons are going to be made. It's always a little bit scary when you don't have any Zealots here. You can also send a probe out to the front, and as they try to run in, you make another gateway and kind of block them and mess everything up.
All right, well, these Hydras kind of poised up here, ready to try for that bust again. It feels like Soma's like pretty all in here, right? If Bisu
Yeah.
ends up holding this, he should have a bit of an advantage.
I don't know that he's going to hold though, Artosis. This is only 4 cannons. This is a lot of Hydras. A 5th cannon is going to finish the probes. I feel like they're pulled a little bit late.
But this,
Bisu's
I
so
think
good
this
at
still
balancing
works.
act. The Corsairs, he might even be letting them tank damage here. He's going to throw more cannons down.
Yeah, he's just wasting
Cannon
time.
layout is pretty good.
Yeah, and I
The
think
Forge is, it's kind of hanging out in the front. You know, like it is at this
He's gonna go
angle, but
back
just
and
kinda
try and take
eventually kill
everything
it.
out with Corsairs.
I don't know if that upgrade's going to finish or not.
man, I tell you, if Soma
Yeah, he's
wins
going in
right, here,
right
this is
before
going to
them.
be just deadly for Bisu's mentality, I'd say. You know, to lose to 2 completely different kind of aggressive mid-game plays.
This is
Soma
always
pushing in
see,
once
he's
again.
got the
DT was
DT.
made, but way too many overlords
Yeah.
over here. The Corsairs diving, weren't able
He's
to
just
get
gonna
rid of
go in
them all.
again.
And the cannons are being killed off.
Yeah, I think this is actually he's done it. He's got like 5. Look at the line on the mini map.
Real testament
He's
to how
got
good
he's
this
got
team
like
is.
6 more on the
Original
way.
Hive, it's like still here. after we've had so many more cannons made.
And he just needs to stop those
I
cannons.
think that Bisu might be dead, Artosis. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of times when there's no cannons finished, the probes and the zealots just don't do damage that fast.
Yeah, you need like
We have
3
zealots
cannons
coming
and
in,
then
it
3
looks
more
like
warping
almost
in,
one
and
at
when
a
you have the
time.
6 on
And
the
there's
wall,
so many
you're good.
overlords, you can't really keep these Corsairs around.
And he's
long enough to
still
kill them all
making
off.
more
He's
Hydras,
just trying
right?
to come in when he can. Anything to let these cannons finish.
Well, he's trying. Another Zealot comes up. A couple more cannons are going to finish, it looks like. And the Corsairs are trying so hard to push these Overlords back as well. Soma is supply blocked, but there's way too many Hydras here. Even if he's supply blocked for a moment, you'd think he'll be able to recover and get more Hydras than cannons can be made.
Yeah, well, there's almost no probes here. You know, this is barely an expansion right now.
And he's getting rid of the
He's continuing to rally
pylons.
these Hydras out. And again, this is all based on the premise that Protoss was going to overreact, assuming that this was going to be a Muta Scourge bust again, and then he would be too light on the defense in the front, too late with the Templars, and we can already see there's not even you know, Storm available right now, not a Templar on the map. Now
He might be
has stopped.
upgrading it, but
Soma is being careful. I have seen games where Bisu looks so dead for so long, and he basically fights back better than anybody else in the game.
yep.
The guy that came out with these fast expand builds and had
Because now he's got one
know
Zealot
how to
for every
ride that
every
mechanical
Hydra,
bull,
basically.
How to ride that horse early game to survive that.
As
until
soon as he
Templars
gets
are out.
Storm,
Maybe
it's over.
He's done it now. Artosis, I think he has done it now. The Hydras are pulling away.
Yep.
But Mutas are coming up.
What
This
we
is like
updating?
I mean, he did lose a lot of Corsairs, which is not super common for Bisu, but I think you were right. He was letting them tank a little bit so he'd have a higher chance to
Updating?
hold.
Question mark,
So
Queen?
these Mutas coming up, this could be a little bit tricky to deal with, but he has 2 cannons in the main base. He has a few cannons here still at that
We're
natural,
upgrading.
so- I mean, I could see the Mutas definitely
Upgrading.
picking off some
I
high
think it
templars,
might
but
have been
probably not ending
upgrading.
the game here.
He has to upgrade Storm,
Okay,
so he
they're
can
gonna
use
come in
Storm.
now.
But none of these have
He's gonna
energy.
go for that first cannon. And this is going
Oh.
to force an Archon.
Oh.
I'm surprised he actually didn't go for the Templars
Oh.
maybe a little bit sooner, but he seems to
There's
know
the
right
Storm,
move to
but it didn't
disarm
matter.
There's nothing here to protect this. Remember, the
Yeah,
probe
and he's
count
just
is
gonna
so
pick off.
low.
He's gonna pick. Oh my
And
god.
look at-
I think Soma did it.
To the Hydras. Go ahead, Artos.
Look at how he's keeping the Mutas over the probes, so if you want to storm him, you're going to storm your probes as well.
Yeah.
Very smart move there. But Bisu does get a pretty decent storm as they fall behind just slightly. The Archon is there as well. So I
Oh
think
god,
he
now he's got
technically holds on here.
Dragoons. But, I mean, Soma doesn't seem like he has a plan.
Locked into mid-game tech.
Soma needed to
I don't think a
expand.
hive started. I don't think a hive is going to start. You're
No.
fine just sitting on layer tech and basically playing this out. There might be something.
Oh, he almost got it.
There might be less than 20 probes. He's just keeping. You know, it's like a boa constrictor just squeezing the prey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to get tighter and tighter. Bisu's not dead, but man, he's barely clinging on for dear life. And he does have a little bit more probes than I thought, now that I see the natural.
Okay. Well, you said that, you know, Soma is kind of locked into this mid-game tech, and I would definitely agree with that. It doesn't seem like his economy is super, super great. But if Bisu kind of retains his High Templars, can he actually take this game from here? Because I thought he was dead there for a little bit during the Hydra Rush, but, like,
Soma
it feels
just
like
didn't
he is
do
kind
anything.
of recovering, and I feel like if he were
So-
to take this game, like, as Soma, you got to be like, wait, how did I not win that, you know?
Okay, good. At least he's
Well,
expanding.
here's the win conditions. He has to be able to push out and have his High Templars storm the Hydras.
Mhm.
And what Soma
He's
needs
gonna
to
have
do in this
lurkers
moment is
soon, he
use
might.
Mutas to snipe the
He
High
should.
Templars. Now, I didn't see it. Is there an attack upgrade on the Corsairs? Because he's basically got, I think, 4 or 5 Corsairs, and that's kind of enough to fight. Remember, the Mutas can in some ways, kamikaze onto the Templars. Hydras, I think, can beat this, but if he can snipe these Templars, that would be it. We've seen this mid-game so many times. We always get here in a different way.
Two
But, you know,
armor.
plus two
He went
armor
full
is
armor,
upgraded.
so they can't
Not
pick
the
off
biggest
because it
army in the
reduces
world,
more
but
damage
with
because of the
Dirt
splash
Shot,
damage.
Which is not even a functional
Yeah.
fourth base right
The
now.
glaives
He could
bounce,
do this.
so
The
it
Archon, by the way,
reduces
catches
actually
both the
5
Scourge.
damage.
The Mutas have not sniped any Templars. He goes for the first one. He kind of baits out a shot.
Because the last hit
Shots
already
for
does
value, and
2
remember,
damage,
with
and you can't do
+2
0
armor,
damage,
Templars are a
so
lot harder to
it
kill.
just does
They're
1
a lot
damage.
harder
So
to kill
that's
than
why
just
the math
no
is
armor
odd.
or +1 armor.
But
3
it's just the
times
way it
9
works.
is 18, so he is going
3 times 9 is 18. I love Artosis so much.
The mutas were
That's a
being
meme, by
microed
the
well,
way.
but very, very hard to kill those High Templars. Bisu has taken a bit of map control, but his army is really small still.
Yeah,
He's trying to
kill
get those
his
High
last
Templars. At least he got a storm
You don't want
off.
to spend the storms if you don't have to, because the Hydras are where you want to try to win the fight. Now, the mutas are gone. They've been killed. There's still an Archon. There's still ground forces.
He needs to get that 4th base up, and yeah, he's stopping to see if Bisu has the 3rd. Because he's got his Overlord over the 3rd over at the 5 o'clock.
I don't know if he's in a position where that is doable. Or if you want to just commit. I don't see him making probes either, by the way.
And this is a 3-player map, so it's not like they can split map either, so this is going to be very interesting.
So, I don't even know if he can.
But Zerg is always, you know, split maps aren't exactly what happens with Zerg, because Zerg usually has one more base than you.
Right now, he is trying to come out on the map, and you know,
which means technically you have 2 less. That's kind of weird math. Like you have one more, they have one more base than you, but you have 2 less bases than them.
Let's see if Bisu can pull this off. Oh my God, he's gone up to 6 Templars here.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. And don't forget, like, his probe count is low enough that...
Because technically they would be taking one of your bases. Them taking a base is also taking a base away from you.
And he has less probes than we normally see in these positions. So, who knows? Maybe he can actually do something here with this army.
So the differential is actually 2.
Well, you know, when you see this many mutas, you know
the power of
you have
math!
2 extra Templars to just storm the mutas. And that's one way to try to deal with this when you can't catch up in Corsair.
And that's why the Hydras are kind of spread apart, right? Oh,
some of these storms are a little bit late. I feel like he might have lost too many Protoss units in the fight already.
Yeah, that doesn't look too good.
I think you're right. Those storms were a little bit late. Like the Zealots already were mostly down on their health by the time those storms went out, and there's just such a small.
Yeah, you got to have the storms to push the Hydras back so the Zealots can get in without being hit.
This is the end of the game, Tasis. It was a really valiant fight back there from Bisu. From like I was ready to call it during the Hydra bust, but you know, Bisu has done a ridiculously good job. He's still technically in this game, but he can't really ever expand, right? Like, he can barely produce off his gateways. His probe count is incredibly, incredibly low. And Soma on the 4th base is like, yeah, his economy is actually decent now.
It's a real testament to how strong Bisu is at surviving. But Soma knows what he's doing. He's able to basically stay ahead. There's not a lot of probes in the game.
He needs that Chimerian amulet.
And just a few more. You know, 1 for each mineral patch and a few more, if that makes sense. And there are no ambitions to expand right now. Bisu's trying to win a fight. And look, I think that fight could have gone better had he not, had he stormed later. Like, you can't have Zealots and Dragoons fighting for like 5 seconds and then the storms come in. You basically have to start the fight with a great storm and force the Zerg to start to micro and run away.
Yeah.
And as everything fans out, it's impossible to micro everything. Mutas are going to come in again, and I mean, look, there's a lot of Templars. I wouldn't even storm that if I were him. Ooh, nice snipe on that too.
Okay, his High Templars are much closer to his army now.
That's why he's a pro, and you're not, Tasteless, because the one that stormed is the one that died.
Army, but I don't see
he knew it was going to die, so he stormed with it.
Massive Hydralisks right now. Soma does have that
+2
attack upgrade against the 1/2 upgrades of Bisu.
Did he get energy upgrades?
Not yet. He doesn't have Chimerian amulet.
200. I guess it wouldn't make sense. He shouldn't be able to afford that. So he's going to come up here and fight. Now he did get a lot of Hydras back there. The muta count's
oh God! Look how many there are.
Surface area to micro this. Oh my God! There are some really juicy spots to hit.
Yeah.
Here. Not a great storm. He's gonna.
Unfortunate. Oh, that one was pretty decent.
At least one was okay, but
yeah, that was pretty decent. You know what? That was good.
You want to try to hit.
But I don't think it's gonna matter.
Even if they retreat, they're gonna eat damage. And dude, hold on a second.
That's an insane
Is he gonna
attack.
do this? This is.
He's got more Hydras coming. But I mean,
is wild.
it is crazy. He's trying to get
he's
them.
got 2 more Archons. He's got to pull up that just morphed. Got to pull back here. I think he's going to get this 4th base. But again, don't forget, Bisu has like no economy at home. His money is at 100. He is up.
He's about to mine out.
This, and then brings this army back and reinforces. I think the game might actually go to him.
Yeah, no, I think he can do this, man. I did not think he was going to win that fight, but once he got in that narrow area, it's
Yeah,
really
he's going to try and pick off more reinforcements.
In the middle of the map, it's much
Oh,
more doable.
no. Oh, no.
Oh, my God, he gets the morph on that. By the way, when you have these Archons out, you know, I think a lot of times, especially people from StarCraft 2, assume that Archons are like these powerhouse units. You've got to be careful versus Hydras because they can snipe them down really fast. They're all shields, and Hydras do crazy damage.
Yeah,
Beast going to attack across here. This is
fucking Protoss is strong.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
This is unreal.
I
now,
really
I don't know
can't.
that he can break him here.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to.
Let's
I think
see.
he has
Hold on a
just
second.
enough. He has a few units rallying in too. Don't forget, like even just 4 or 5 zealots being added are going to kill everything that comes out of the eggs. I think.
Oh my God! I think.
This is like
he's doing it.
This is
holy
the turning
shit.
of the series tasteless because it felt like Soma was about to go up 2-0.
And he's literally like almost completely out of money.
Yeah.
Like he pushed. Like all Soma had to do was hold on for another 5 minutes.
Had Soma lasted like 2 more minutes, the Protoss would have, you know, ran out of gas. There would have been no gas in the tank.
Wow.
And he would have just, you know, he's going to make the Nexus with the last amount of resources.
Hi, Opal's. Hey, Cals. Yeah, everything's great. This was an amazing game of StarCraft.
This is so
We've been going pretty hard. So Cals, we started a new YouTube channel for horrors, and tomorrow night is our premiere.
On one of these third bases, it's playable. There's still some tricks someone could try to do, but like he wasn't able to remake the Spire, by the way.
If he gets that up,
okay,
because
so
Bisu's out.
3 hatches up there. He's got a little bit of static D. He has this little group of Mutalisks. And Bisu's not mining at the moment. Like he
needs to stop that Nexus.
Those mineral patches. Don't forget, there's only 6 patches here, so this is not even a full base, guys. It's like 50% smaller than like a main base, just to put it into perspective.
Okay.
So,
I think that the ground army's big enough that there's not a whole lot Soma can do. I think that there's enough Dragoons and everything else that he can kind of just protect the probes. I'm kind of surprised that Bisu's attacking out. In my head, I think you're supposed to just turtle here and make cannons and then try to fight the Zerg.
So scary. I have no idea who's going to win. But Bisu's mining now.
By the way, is still getting gas this whole time.
this is
Zerg
so
is,
crazy.
I guess, this is such a wild game. Now, he needs to fly over so that the probes get stormed.
Yeah.
Oh
like
my
that's-
God.
That was like 1 pixel.
Does he have 4 or 5 probes here mining at this base? And he's going to lose even more. Well, I guess that's a pretty thick stack there, actually. So he has about 7, maybe.
Way more.
Yeah. Well, they were all stacked on top of each other, tasteless. Rain Man tasteless over here, telling me how many probes are there from the thickness of the shadow. Jesus.
Yeah.
But
I think that's game. I don't think. I mean, there's just too many probes. He's producing probes right now. There's Archons surrounding this.
He's got 2.
Dude, what is going on? This was one of, and I know we said this in the previous series. This
Soma was so close 2 times.
I really
can't believe it.
But
I cannot believe it.
Protoss is OP.
I cannot believe how good this is. The idea that he was so behind. Soma had one of the most teched out crazy openers and Bisu was having to throw away probes and core.
This is why the ASL is so amazing. No matter what, it still just gets better and better.
Second, he takes the last amount of resources, takes a base, and cripples the Zerg. And here we are now. Zerg has no recourse.
Yeah, Zerg is
Soma
fucked.
tries to attack across the map, and Bisu
GG.
will get that base. He'll keep it GG, and he will win that game.
That's crazy! Upset of the fucking world.
The game of the tournament, I think. Like, I loved the Snow Barracks game on Dominator, but like, that was the game of the tournament because it wasn't that he got ahead and then Soma played brilliantly. It's that Soma was way ahead. Bisu might have been thinking about tapping out, but based on game 1, I don't think he was. I think he's playing every game to the bitter end here, and especially after that game, he should. Because that was a comeback for the ages.
That was insane.
That was so insane. There's shuttle. That was wild. It looked so impossible, and Bisu just kept his cool. He actually got shut down with the first major push and stayed in the game. And there are a lot of moments they could have highlighted. I think this one is perfectly fine. So remember, the way this started out, it was a fake Muta all-in made to resemble Game 1 into this Hydra bust. And because the Protoss was clearly, with all the Corsairs here, ready to fight air, the Templars are later, the cannons at the front are later. Somehow, in this moment, he knew to keep the one Zealot alive, morph in just enough cannons, he had enough stuff producing, and he didn't pull probes, by the way, which is interesting. Bisu really knows this balancing act so well.
Look at this, he's up like 20-ish workers at the beginning of this. I'm really excited to see after this comes in, like what he's going to look like as far as workers goes. Saves those from the Scourge.
Okay, so here's where he attacks in. And I think we even see the Corsairs run literally over this, like, hey, attack me over here. He goes for the Overlord. Remember that he's hoping to get a DT out here, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of outs for the Protoss right now. So he soaks a little bit more damage. Then we cut to here. This was his second big push. Now, when we saw Zerg run back here, I thought, okay, there is a chance because there's not a lot of room.
Yeah.
You know, Zerg want to fight Protoss in these open areas where the Hydras can run endlessly. The first couple storms weren't great, and then these last couple really delivered. And once the Zealots spilled in, you know, there's no Sim City here for the Zerg. And the Protoss army really is quite balanced. He's got 7 Dragoons, soon to be 3 Archons, enough Zealots. Like, you can always fight with that. And he also did a good job pulling the Archons away here. So we're tied up 1-1. Crazy comeback there from Bisu. Bisu really showing why he is historically the GOAT at the PvZ matchup.
That is fucking crazy.
Man, after that one.
All right, well, let's see.
When we come back, Metropolis for game number 3. Now that you've seen it, you remember? Oh,
Hydra Den, Hydra Bust. Like the latest imaginable Hydra Bust in the game. We've had it where they go for Layer and sometimes Spire and then don't.
Oh, it's getting hot in here, guys. Getting hot in here.
He was really trying. He was really trying to make it look like that game 1. Game 1, you know, that's what I was talking about, where you can kind of dictate the flow of the series a little bit if you open aggressive in game 1. Where he did the Ogres or game with the Mutas, he made it look like that again, and he only made 3 Mutas this time instead of 5 or 6 that he had the previous time, and acted like he was going to do that, and then the Hydras come. It's like just very good planning from Soma. But now that that didn't work, what's the plan here for game number 3?
Yeah. Soma's got to have something up his sleeve, right?
I'm still stuck on game 2. We were showing it at the start here. But I'll tell you, man, this could go either way. Bisu looking so strong. Can't even believe he survived that initial rush. He looked so dead.
Yeah.
And then after the first push, he looked so dead. It's crazy.
Absolutely fucking crazy.
Fight back. Even knew when to stop getting upgrades. He's like, no, this game's going to be decided on +1 attack, +2 armor. We are not going to go all the way here.
It was definitely a good call there. The not expanding ever. If he had expanded, he loses that game, 100%. Like, he needed every single unit that he had. He needed the pressure when he did it. Only he could win that game.
Okay, Metropolis. Now I remember. So we're going to go to this map. There's a lot of sneaky stuff.
Now that you've seen it, you remember? Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, now it's come back to me. I remember looking at this map earlier. Guys, there's a lot of sneaky stuff Zerg can do. Let's see how exactly they handle it. We're tied up 1-1. Let's go to game 3.
Reminds me of those moments when I was a kid and I couldn't remember something. My brother would be like, I'm not telling you because you're just going to say that you knew it already. I'd be like, well, it's not that I don't know it, it's that I don't remember it. There's really not remembering something and not knowing something. I know it, I just can't remember it. No, you don't know it, and you're just, as soon as I tell you, you're going to say that you knew it.
Drops are really scary. And I'm not just talking about late
that was my
drops,
fucking childhood.
A bunch of Overlords coming in there. I'm talking about, you know, we see some weird Hydra busts with layer tech where they, you know, pressure you at the front and then they just unload up onto your high ground. DT drops, by the way, can go very undetected, and DTs can be very hard to find for the Zerg once they get in there because the whole landmass inside the main is huge. We'll see how much of a role that plays here, but it's definitely something to watch for.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Pylon in main. Wow. Whoa, he never does this.
No, this is a very
playing
rare move.
safe.
Oh, it's MC too.
Yeah. MC
Get all
very
get
close to
all
getting
the
ASL
get all the
right now.
old
Really
guys
high level
down
player.
here
Yeah.
to watch the legends
So
roll.
if you don't know MC from StarCraft 2, one of the OG greats.
Yeah.
And Artosis is right. I mean, this guy has been playing so damn well. He could be making an appearance here in the next ASL season or two.
Yeah, he's getting very close. Like, he can make it to the finals of ASL qualifiers and stuff, but hasn't been able to push over that line yet. So, looking forward to when he gets in.
I think it's going to be 2-gate, unless Bisou throws a gas down here right away. It's going to be overpool back at home. And by the way, double gate in Maine has grown in popularity. Originally, it was only Mini that had his own flavor of play. By the way, it's going to be 10-10 gate. So this is very different than 10-12 gate, which we've seen from some other players. I don't know if it's going to be the 3-probe rush with the Zealots like we saw from Best. And, you know, something
This
stinks
is an
in the
odd
right
map
now,
to have to put
if
the
that's what
third there,
happens,
though.
Where, like, I guess Zergs are maybe just a little bit too cavalier about the early game and how safe they feel they are.
Are you looking with this build to counter like an overpool, or are you looking to counter, like, what does it do better against, like an overpool or a hatchery first?
You know, it could be better against overpool, especially if they don't figure out what's going on right away.
Yeah.
Let's watch
I thought so.
Soma's Overlord, by the way.
And you just don't have the economy to like
Yeah,
keep
no, you-
up because you're
sorry,
making
go ahead.
more
Go ahead.
drones.
Well, I was
No,
going
no,
to
I
say
know.
it can be slightly counterintuitive, because if it's a rush, you might think, oh well, you want them to expand, but actually you have to count in like how many larvae the Zerg gets.
Yeah, so
like,
the more
this
the
puts extra
Zerg
pressure on the
expands.
larva because the hatchery is a little bit later. So that's
Yeah.
just kind of the reason why that's an interesting question, I think.
Yeah, so
Because Zerg resources
is-
are
by the way,
extremely
this
different.
worked. The Overlord didn't see it until the last possible second.
It's
And a couple extra drones
one
remain.
or the other, not both.
Once you start that drone or Zergling, the genie's out of the bottle. You can't cancel it and just make another unit. The larva's gone. So we have a creep colony now in the main.
Only reason
but
you
the
would
Zealots
cancel something
are
is for supply
angled
reasons.
towards 6 o'clock at this new base. And Soma's
So
gonna
that's
try
why
to counterattack that. As
misclicking
soon this actually
as
finished-
a Zerg is a
Wow,
lot
okay.
worse.
I thought he might try to cancel. This is going to be a really complicated game on both sides, and I don't think anybody's going to win or lose right away. But let's see. The Lings come up. Now, Bisou's very good at keeping his probes alive in these moments. When a Zealot gets in the mix here, it's a lot
Yeah,
harder
see,
to
it's
hold.
like the
lot
Lings
harder
in
to
there,
do
but it's
damage
so
to
much
the
easier.
Zerg.
Like the Lings require
So all the
so
rest of the
much
Zealots are
more
gonna be rallied
micro
back
than
here.
the
No
Zealots
Zergling
do.
speed, by the way. No second hatch, by the way.
So it's
And
like
the
12
Lings gonna try
Zerglings
to
can
harass,
basically do the
Zealot gonna go
damage
back
of
towards that
like
line. Lots
3
of probe
Zealots.
drilling going on. Of course, when you're drilling
Depending
like this, you're
upon,
not
like,
really
what you're
mining
doing.
minerals, just to make that clear.
Yeah.
Like, you're resetting a lot of their
Right.
mining times.
Yeah,
And then
so-
you're also losing some probes. So his economy is pretty shattered, but he's just killed the hatchery of Soma. So Soma is definitely not in a better spot than Bisou here.
So I'm very
This
interested in
is
how
so
Bisou plays the rest of this out.
scary.
Is he going to try to go here and block the ramp?
Oh, he lost them all.
Remember that they don't know what else
That's
is
bad.
going on the map here.
That's
I
bad.
don't think that Bisou can kill with the Zealots, but I don't think that he has to either.
Someone has no money.
So the Lings, I mean, their moment's kind of done.
Yeah, see, and
He's
then he's
gonna
gonna
plug
just
up
send the
ramp.
Zealots into the base, and it's
And
like, well,
we're
what are you
in
gonna do now?
One of the
Right?
more
I think he's waiting for that. Yeah, he's gonna put down the hatchery at 9 o'clock
because
and be like, it's the best I can do.
Yeah.
But we do have this hidden hatch here over at 9 o'clock.
I think that's Soma's only chance of victory, because if you just make
He's
probes and
8
Zealots
fucking
nonstop here
drones.
as Bisou, you'll eventually
That's
outscale one
insane.
hatchery production. Like, he'll have to make like a bunch of Sunkens or something to have a real chance. Like, the Zerglings are not going to hold up over time against this constant production. So I think that Soma's very close to dead.
Yeah, this is going to go back to one of the older games of StarCraft. If you go back in the history of the game, this is what it kind of looked like. It was two
Older
gateways that the Zerg would
styles.
sometimes defend, or otherwise they'd get beaten back pretty hard. And
Somebody
then
would go
the,
for a hidden
Protoss would
base.
basically try to tech up and put pressure on. Now the problem is that I don't think that Bisou can leave his base. I think he's going to have to run back. This would have been a mistake if he went across the map. Oh, almost gets up the ramp there. Now, in a moment like this, you see just how, awkward it is for both sides. There's only one gas for Protoss. Oh my god, he scouts this. There's only a 1 second base here for Zerg.
This is like, it's such a strange position with Soma going layer. Is he going up to like Spire at this point?
Yeah, I don't know what he could possibly be
I
doing.
think so. So in the old days of StarCraft, a lot of times once the 2-gate Zealot rush was done, you would go into layer because it was very hard. Well, hold on a second. He made a den and canceled.
Huh.
But just to finish my thought, you would go up into a layer because it's hard for them to have enough to defend. You know, they need Archons and they need Corsairs. They can never quite get enough. And then also be viable on the ground. So he does make the Spire. Okay, so this is going to be that. And by the way, this isn't easy for Protoss. You need to get an expansion up. The whole reason why fast expanding is what you see in 99% of professional matches is because Protoss just aren't good without a second gas. They basically want to just get all their tech up right away and get all their upgrades up right away. It's very different than a lot of the other matchups where, like, you can get this tech much later on. I guess the closest thing it could be like is maybe like TVZ, you know, where Terran are trying to get so many different tech things and just kind of sit back and power. And, you know, Terran have the same problem one basing against Zerg.
And he just needs to keep him there because he knows that he's seen the hidden base.
Yeah, there's actually, like, that's how the game is designed as well, where Zerg and Terran are very straightforward with tech progression. Like, you just kind of go up the ladder of tech buildings and unlock everything. Protoss, you make Cybernetics Core and you suddenly have 3 different techs that you can go into. So it's kind of like... Because of that, they really need to get into those techs
you
well,
can go
I think,
High
because
Templar,
it's
you
not the
can
steady
go
progression where you still have
Reaver,
stability as you build up.
you can
That's right.
go
And it's important to remember that, like, that's where the cheesiness
Arbiter or
from Protoss
Carrier.
comes from, is it's like unpredictable once that tech comes out. Now, this is a big moment here. He made the den. This is why he made a den and canceled it. He's making it look like lurkers, and it's not. It's Mutatech. So the den is scouted down here, but the reality is, okay, now the Scourge are going to hatch here. And he's going to immediately have killed that Corsair. There are mutas out. The main is naked.
Ooh. There's a Dragoon, a Corsair, and one cannon in the main.
So you can fight with a Dragoon, a Corsair, and a cannon, but it's a lot like the problems we saw in Game 1, right? Like, this isn't the fighting force you want. You want to have a couple Corsairs and cannons, or a couple cannons and an Archon. You know, you needed something that can kind of anchor that position. And I think Bisu might have enough. Now, by the way, Bisu Zealots are about to hit the 9 o'clock spot.
Yeah, see, he got
Oh, here they come,
Yep.
and no, there's no way to stop this.
Yeah,
These Zealots
this
are
is-
absolutely going to
this
demolish
is just
everything
gone.
over here. Mutas just literally cannot kill these fast enough. You could have 8 Mutas here, and they'd still kill this Spire minimum.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This could be game-ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to kill off that Spire. He's going to kill off the hatchery. This
Feels
is a Zerg on
bad,
one
man.
hatch. Now, the Mutas
Feels
is scary,
bad.
You're getting Corsairs and maybe even +1 air attack. All you got to do is get a Nexus up. The whole early game is still wobbly and uncomfortable for both sides. But when that Nexus finishes and you start to get the Citadel and the Templar Archives and you have a healthy amount of Corsairs, you're basically in the clear.
Well, the Mutas will eventually clean up these Zealots, but the Spire's gone, so what you see is what you get. Still more Corsairs on the way, that Nexus warping in. Soma having to play most of this game off one hatch, definitely not very comfortable. His economy's garbage, his army's garbage. I mean, this is... This should be a pretty quick piece of victory. I think you block these Mutas.
Gerbab, gabab,
Yeah, I
Gerbabble,
don't think
bobin,
Bobbin, you know,
bobin,
there's
babble,
an inevitability where the
babble,
Corsairs are so high in
bobin,
count.
bo
And even though,
babble,
if you go
bo.
back and you think about all
Little
the PvZs
bo
we
bo
cast, yeah, a lot of times
bo
Mutas and
bo
Corsairs
bo
do win the
bo
fights.
babble, bo
Sorry,
bo
Mutas and Scourge do beat Corsairs, but that's a Zerg
J
on 2 or maybe even 3 bases.
J.
This is a Zerg on 1 base, and therefore 1
Yeah.
base.
And no Spire. So,
And
like, you
literally
just-
no
Oh,
Spire.
his
This
base
is
got
what he has
blocked,
to
and
beat
then he had
Corsairs with.
his
He's
third,
got 2 more
his
Scourge left only, so Bisu
secret
knows
base
this.
got scouted.
And, you know, he's just trying to keep those Corsairs alive and zone those Mutas away.
Yeah, he's going to try to slip the Scourge out here to get the kill. Doesn't end up doing it. The Corsairs shoot that down. And it's a very... uneven fight.
Respire.
It's like an 8-2. as far as the progression goes. Like, it might look like to the casual observer, like, well, it seems like, you know, Soma's base is a little bit further behind than Bisu's, but maybe he can catch up. But that's not how Zerg operates. Zerg needs to have a bunch of bases early on. And, you know, even then, they'll still lose to pushes, you know, when they have really healthy early games. This is a Zerg crawling into mid-game with his legs chopped off, trying to get back up, trying to
He's got no arms, he's got no legs, he's just trying to roll around.
I just don't see,
trying to go through it.
The way that Game 2 ended, I don't see a world where Bisu can't follow this line to its logical conclusion.
For sure. And in fact, his Zealot even just walks in casually and spots that the Spire is being remade. So now he knows what Soma's plan is as well, and he can continue to make anti-air. So I don't think that the Spire is going to end up working. You know, Soma has to take some risks. He has to try something a little bit sneaky to have a chance because he's so mathematically behind. But with the Corsairs flying across, I think every Overlord dies. Like, we're really getting to a point where Soma can GG. But we were saying that about Bisu, and he came back, so.
Oh!
Yeah, nicely done.
I don't even know if he got a single Corsair. Oh, it's so sad to watch.
And we're in a moment where, like, the Corsairs, once they kill the Mutas, can kill every Overlord on the map. And you're going to see Soma locked out of production. Rarely happens in a pro game, but
it does happen.
It happens at lower levels. And he's going to basically ignore
it happens to me like every ZVP, they get Corsairs out, and I'm just like, fuck.
And it's going to be now.
GG.
Okay, there it is. GG. Soma taps out.
Wow.
And,
all right.
What a crazy game.
Bisu leads now.
You know, we never get to cast that Artosis.
No, we do not.
One
this is
versus
so
one base
crazy.
Rogue, two bases.
So
very
crazy.
Fun. And by the way, Soma with some really advanced thinking. He's impressing me more than any Zerg in ASL right now. Just throwing down the den in that game where he knows the main's going to get scouted, because that could have looked like it was one-hat Lurker.
Yeah.
And it basically worked. The problem is it's so hard to get enough mutas to actually fight. And Bisu's smart enough to just have 2 Dragoons anyways, and have Corsairs making anyways, because he knows, like, this is the hard part of the game for me, is getting my second base up. So I'm going to play with, in some ways, obsolete tech. It's not that, you know, a straight line to victory there, but it keeps me safe. Beautifully done. And again, Bisu 2-gating. He never, ever 2-gates, ever. He's the guy that said, I have to stop
Bisu, Reaver, another foreigner.
Well, he's definitely altering his play quite a bit here
today. Is that Phoenix?
Right? Like,
a Carbot Phoenix?
One gateway pressure expand. We've seen a Forge expand. Now we've seen a 2-gate in main base build. Bisu, despite what we know his style to be, is varying his play really heavily. And of course, we've seen that from Soma as well.
So we're going to go to Polestar. And I don't know what to expect. It's been a fascinating deep dive into the matchup PvZ here. These guys are bringing some of the best games we could have ever asked for. And we're going to go into game 4 now. Let's see if Soma can catch up or if Bisu goes up 3-1.
True. Come on, even it up. Let's go. Come on, Soma. You need to win. You need to win, bro. Can't be a PvP final. It'll be one of the most boring finals ever. Although Snow versus Bisu could be, you know, Reavers versus Corsairs, Shuttles versus Corsairs, like
this season.
Yeah.
And the fact that
that could be interesting.
Is crazy too. You know, when we had 2 gates in the past, they almost always failed. I thought we were just never going to have them at all eventually. And then Minnie always had
people had solved them so much. It was like no matter what you do at this level, you can just outplay them easily with easily enough with either micro or a counter attack.
But seeing this,
but now it's like, you know, it's a back and forth. It's a cat and mouse game, right? Like you're always chasing the next breakthrough that's going to elevate your gameplay and take your race to the next level.
This has been fun.
Well, the new approach to 2-gate is the old approach, where you bring the probes with the zealots and you push.
See what I mean?
Shows another great aspect of Brood War is that we haven't had a patch since the year 2000. So, like, we have 25 years in a row of strategies that can technically be recycled. Like, this is how Reach used to play. Reach was the best Protoss in the world for years. In fact, there was an OSL where he was the only Protoss that made it in. Like, that's how hard PVZ was back then, before Bisu revolutionized. But, like, I mean, you put Reach into one of these games, it's like, I know exactly what's going on. But some of these newer players, you know, like Soma, for instance, haven't really lived through that era. Where it's like, yeah, no, 20 years ago, this was normal.
I mean, I remember when I first came back, because I had that broken bone in my hand, like right when Remastered came out. But I remember when I came back after my hand had healed. And, you know, I was not comfortable with doing, like, the Gateway first opening. So I had lots of games where I went for double Gateway. Just because, you know, I was thinking, like, back to the very first, you know, year or two that I started out in the game. And I would do stuff like that. And it would work a lot of times because people online just don't know what's going on when you do it, you know. It's like they've been practicing versus fast expand their whole lives. But yeah, you'll even see it at a level like this. That's weird he's taking the mineral there. I wonder why that is.
So he'll make a geyser here because you give up the mineral, and then he'll take the other one. And this just means he's going to go Speedlings. Or at least he wants Bisu to think he's going to go Speedlings.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great observation, Artosis. Good job. I think...
It didn't work, but that is the idea. It didn't have enough time. It takes
it didn't work.
7 seconds to mine or something, so the drone wouldn't have quite been able to do it. But makes sense, right? Like that's kind of what the idea is. And drones have a funny thing with extractors. Like they don't lose their minerals if you make anything else, and also they don't heal if you make anything else. But the extractor does both of those.
Yep.
Right. It's a funny thing how this game worked out. By the way, we had a Ling pressure coming in here.
The true reason why the game is the way it is because it's an unfinished game.
I don't think it's going to work.
Essentially.
This was gassed, by the way, before the third hatchery.
There's actually like an entire documentary dedicated to like analyzing the game and showing the places where it's like literally the devs didn't have the chance to do what they wanted to do. With so many things in the game, but that's what makes it so
for now we
amazing is because it's not like it just organically became this way, right?
He has started his Nexus and his gas. Is this going to be a core at the entrance? Yes, it is.
Whereas they have to patch everything in order to kill Protoss in Starcraft 2.
And then I'm going to send these 2 Zealots across the map to scout. Now he is going for a Hydra Den.
Okay.
But I don't know that 2 Zealots can push up. A lot of times when you have 2 Zealots and you do this, you run back. The whole idea is, even if you can't see them doing it, you know you're probably forcing Zerglings. Of course, the problem in a game of incomplete information is sometimes Zergs don't react at all, just keep powering up. And, you know, that's a whole other game there. But Soma's gone for the classic 3-hatch Hydra Rush. Probably, to this date, one of the best builds in the game. It can end the game immediately, and if it fails, the Zerg can go back to droning because the Protoss has been forced to cannon so heavily that they haven't easily developed as much as they would have wanted to.
Every cannon is a gateway. Think about that. Every cannon is a gateway. Every 2 cannons is 2 zealots. Or every 2 cannons is 3 zealots.
I generally find that this variant
every 2
is
cannons,
a little bit more all in. It's a little bit harder to go back and drone. But
it's a little bit easier.
Well, it's pretty much every cannon is a Dragoon.
Scout.
For sure.
You want to think about it in gas as well.
Out like this, a lot of times you're suspicious. So the Stargate is going to finish in a second here, and then what you got to do is you have to send a Corsair through the attack path that the Hydras would come through. We've even seen some good players like Sulky, and now that I think about it, Soma too, have actually moved around the Corsair to hit. I don't know if we're going to have it here. By the way, the Citadel of Adun is in a really weird spot.
Yeah.
Why is it there? That's really where...
Did he put it as natural?
That location could be where... Yeah, and that's where cannons could be. Keep in mind, like, when you're trying to survive a Hydra bust, you need all the real estate possible to not die.
That is weird.
You know, like, having a Citadel is very odd there. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah, we've literally seen people in these pro leagues die because they had a shield battery from an early Zergling attack.
They didn't kill it.
Where they needed to make cannons.
Yeah.
Like, that actually happens. People are very on top of killing those now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is in the way. Like, 2 cannons could have gone into that general area. So that might end up being a huge mistake here for Bisu.
Okay, so he sees
Building
it.
placement
Is
is
this
so
enough time?
important.
Now the cannons are well placed, and well, hold on a second. He's
Oh.
going to dive in. The Lings are going to come and surround the Zealots on the
We
outside.
lost four Hydras for that. I don't know if that was
Zealots are
worth it.
falling. The Lings are going to run in again.
Oh.
If you don't have this sealed up tight, you know, the Zealots
Lings are the
gonna
one
take a
who
lot
taking
more
the damage.
You're okay with losing some of the Lings as long as the Hydras are getting kills, but it's
Yeah.
only 6 Hydras now.
Yeah, this is bad.
This is a very good hold so far from Bisu, I feel like. Soma jumps in, kills another cannon there, but his Hydras are getting really, really low.
Yeah. Oh, just in time for the
He's
DT.
gonna Bisu really miscontrolled that. And this DT's actually stuck, which is funny. I guess actually he can't go through the Citadel. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Somehow a cannon above a Citadel, I guess that makes a wall. Now I know that too. He can't quite run out. There's more Hydras coming across the map. He's going to use the DT to try to help fight, and he's going to run away. I don't know if Soma saw it. He's going to try to chase it.
Oh, he knows it's
out
there.
On the map. That's a very scary feeling for
Yeah.
the Zerg because you don't know when that's going to attack you or where it's going to go.
Got to spread those overlords a bit. He did kill off the 2 Corsairs that were on the map, so not as afraid of the Corsairs coming out and pushing.
He
around
needs
the
to do
stray overlords.
something right
The
now
DT
to get that
making a beeline up here
DT.
towards the natural or third base.
But
Hard to
he's
say
made
which
like
one.
9 or
Looks like,
10
he's gonna go towards that
cannons now.
third. No overlord there yet, but it is on the way.
Nice, perfect timing. He's gonna
Okay.
try and follow it as far as he can get it. Is he gonna be able to get
Corsair
it?
is going to come out.
Oh,
And
nope.
getting this DT is a big deal. He needs to scout again with his Corsair. Remember, he's not really afraid of Mutalisks. That's not the kind of game he's in, but he has no intel.
Did he
Bisu has made a
destroy
ton of
the
cannons here. Now,
the
seeing
Citadel?
the 2 drones right there, you know now
Nope.
this is the kind of game where you could cancel those cannons. I don't know if he's going to do it, but he could. Because that means he's droning back up. He's going back into economy. He cancels one in the back. We'll see if he cancels this one.
Probably
in the
already has
front.
Dragoon
Cybernetic Score is
range.
taking damage. That's pretty annoying. It's going to be 200 more minerals he has to spend.
Or
Now,
sorry, +1 Corsair.
with that
+1
going down,
Corsair.
he does still keep that forge alive. So his upgrades.
But the
have been
forge,
down,
yeah, the
really been
forge is
slowed down,
going. I
which
don't
is a
know
big deal.
about.
That is definitely very, very nice. New cybernetic score is going to go up. Don't forget, those cannons are so tightly packed there at that natural. He is going to have to kill, I believe, 3 cannons to make a path out of his base, which is kind of annoying. And in the meantime, of course, yeah, he does. Look at that. He actually has to kill 3, or maybe he'll want to kill the pylon instead. I think he'll probably kill cannons, but we'll see. But yeah, Soma right now is doing a great job of recovering this game. Lots of drones. He has a good amount of Hydras, adding those hatcheries, getting his upgrades going, layer on the way. Exactly what you want to see from a Zerg player here.
Yeah, Soma looking extremely healthy. But I'll give Bisu some credit here. I think he's fine. You know, he got enough cannons up. Bisu, I think, is probably better about making enough cannons than any other Protoss. We see a lot of Protosses where it seems like they have enough and they try to cut corners and they die. But he canceled what he had. The push comes a little bit
Should
later
have
than
had
we do this,
6
but of course,
cannons,
Zerg's
not
getting,
4, bro.
geared
That
up
was a
for
lot of
going into
Hydras.
this game.
That was a
It's
lot of
also, by the way, extremely
Hydras.
common in some ZPs
Wait, he's got
for the
7,
Zerg
and I don't even.
to go for
well,
Mutalisks
if,
after the
but now he has
Hydra.
like 8
So
the
gates
idea is
too,
that
so.
When the Hydra Bust hits you, you have to stop making Corsairs because the price of his Corsair, it could have been a cannon, right? You just need everything that there is to stop the rush from coming. And so you just use 1 Corsair, sometimes 2 if you forgot to finish the second one. But you just use that to scout and see what they're doing. But the problem is when you try to push out with a ground army and they make 11 mutas out of nowhere, they snipe your Templars and they overwhelm you. And when Best is playing, we see him go for a Dark Archon.
Yes.
We'll see if Bisu does that. But I think the Dark Archon, even if you're doing it a little bit blind, I think it's one of the best plays.
Mind
I think Best
control.
is
No, it's
way ahead of
Maelstrom.
the curve on that.
Maelstrom!
I think in a few years, everyone's gonna be like, "Yep,
Yeah.
that's the way to do it." But I haven't really seen Bisu go for Dark Archon, at least not that I can recall. Whereas you see Best every time Best is in this position, he gets it every time.
He'll use it on fucking
Yeah,
Hydras. He
even
doesn't
if it's
care.
Lurkers, like,
Fuck
you can
it.
Freeze 5 lurkers above ground. You know what I mean? Like it's
Maelstrom's just
even
good.
if it's just a bunch of like
Yeah.
you can just it's a good spell. You know, the one weird thing about it is your units don't default attack the frozen units. They actually take a lower priority, which is kind of funny.
because they're no
Also,
longer aggressive.
Oh, what was I going to say? I had one other point to make on this, but now I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I mean, here come the mutas now. They're going to be hatching. Oh, I remember what it was. Another thing we've seen used, which it's, I think, way less common, but is occasionally you see people get a shuttle, and they just keep the Templars in the shuttle, and they unload the shuttle when it gets attacked.
Yeah,
And
and that way they
it's,
can't get
kind of
sniped.
a neat idea, but yeah, I feel like we rarely ever see it. So we'll see if there's a shuttle that pops out here with the push or not.
Very much a StarCraft 2 move, but I agree. We rarely see it. I would actually.
It takes too much micro to do.
If like Scourge come in and get it or something, obviously you're in a terrible spot.
Yeah, so you use 4 High Templar inside a shuttle.
I think that is something that could grow in popularity over time as well.
That's what it is. There's so many things that are not utilized that could one day be utilized in StarCraft when people find a way to use it. A way that the meta shifts so that it's possible.
This is exactly the position Soma wanted to be in. Is he knew that the mutas were going to come out and kill the Templars. Now, what Bisu did in the game 2 is he just overmakes Templars. So that might be what he does this time around. Is he kind of brute forces it.
Needs that Kandarian
The
amulet.
number for Templars is 4. You get up to 4, and then you just make a clean army and push out. But if you know that they're going to keep sniping, you just keep making Templars. You can get up to 7 in a round. And we see 5 here in this wave. I wouldn't be shocked if there's another one moving up from the bottom.
By the way, Soma does have a base in top right, not mining quite yet, and I'm not sure that Bisu knows about it. And here we go. Bisu actually going to attack into the natural here. Only a couple Sunkens to help out these Hydras.
No way. Is Bisu going to do it again?
And I think that's going to clear it up. I think Bisu wins with his push Artosis, but here come the Hydras. There's a lot of Hydras coming here from the side.
Storms.
These observers are in a very awkward spot. They're both going to be picked off. More Psy Storms are going to come down, but there are so many Hydras here. Oh my god.
That is ridiculous.
More Zealots going to come up from the bottom.
I thought Bisu was about to just run through
Same.
with the hot knife through butter, but Soma comes from behind with so many Hydralisks that he's going to be able to clear this whole army. And when you get your whole army cleared like this, like Protoss versus Zerg is all about keeping these high-quality units alive and gaining value over time.
5 Protoss.
At this point, he's lost 6
Templar
High Templars minimum. He's lost all but 1 Dragoon. I mean, the Zealots are always going to rotate in and out. Those are kind of like your meat shield. But that's really, really rough. Like, he has to start over on his army production.
He didn't have a good angle for when the Hydras hit. I think he underestimated the flank from behind. But, you know, you want to have some of those Zealots pulled back. One of the biggest mistakes you could make as Protoss when you're pushing is you just win a fight and you keep pushing and you keep attacking it. And I mean, even in my own games, I'll do it all the time. But you want to do the damage, stop, reposition, and macro, and then evaluate where you can hit next. Because I think some of those units were getting sucked in, fighting sunken colonies and drones. And when the Hydras hit from that other side, you really need the Zealots there with the Dragoons. And the blanketing of storms to make that work.
Right now, a Zealot scouting around the right side of the map. Soma did heavily drone up that top right now. You know, during that last battle, he didn't really have drones over there. So now he's got this full 4-base economy. Bisu getting his 3rd base up and running. It's kind of a late 3rd base for Bisu, but, you know, obviously he was going for a big counterattack after that failed Hydra bust. So it's kind of understandable. Although Bisu, I feel like, in general, takes next to Mini the fastest 3rds and 4ths that we ever see.
Right. Lurker contains are probably out of the question, but let's see. It looks like Soma's going to try to set one up anyways.
There are a lot of Zealots.
And, yeah. Okay, he's going to come down here, and, you know, he does get a decent storm off on those Hydras.
And he's got the reinforcements.
I don't know about Soma doing this. This doesn't feel right. It feels like he's making this fight a lot harder. I think he would have been better suited to just kind of stay back and defend. But, you know, as I say that, seems like he is starting to close in on this position. You know, there's only 1 Templar here that can defend against the Hydras. And after it uses its storm, it's going to be just Dragoons and cannons.
Doesn't even have a storm
It
yet.
doesn't quite have the energy. The Hydra's trying to pick it off. And in fact, they will get it when it has about 70 energy there, so very painful. And Soma, you know, that little contain, I think it was more just to slow the...
And he's got a lurker on the ramp.
He even makes a lurker egg on that ramp. So he's just going for a Nexus snipe here.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not going for the Nexus. He should go for the Nexus.
So frustrating as
He's not going to get the Nexus. Oh, he lets him get it.
Remember, I mean, this game has gone on for 16 minutes and 30 seconds. The natural and the main are going to dry up.
This is going to be another situation where Bisu's running out of money.
Bisu did still push off 2 bases and win a game.
Yeah.
You know, in game 2 of this, so keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I mean, Soma's really trying to keep Bisu as inhibited as possible as far as economics go.
And the rest of those Hydras get cleared out, but it's 4 base
That
against
he's out.
0. Okay, yeah, this is...
He has literally 410 minerals. He can build a Nexus.
You're not going to have that 2 base attack that works this time.
He can literally build a
I don't think
Nexus.
so, because when the 2 base attack won, it was as like one of the last.
And scouted.
It was like a healthy 4 base Zerg that is just, you know, gonna run the clock. Look at what he does. He just runs away. The Scourge are gonna fly right over that Nexus producing. Protoss have to get a win here, and I don't know that they can actually do it. He's gonna try to brute force it, and I feel like the Storm somehow perfectly missed.
Yeah, very good spreads there from Soma, but
and
even if they perfectly
hit, look at the army coming back.
Base,
the army's
you're
coming back.
Lose your army doing that. Soma comes in with a flank, and you know Bisu's gonna know this is basically the end of the game at this point. There's no match to be had.
GG. 2-2.
Ties it up 2-2.
Oh my fucking god. We're gonna go to game 7, guys.
Beautifully done.
I'm gonna go to game
really
7.
Nice game
Sure of
there
it.
from Soma, you know, going
Soma,
with
you
the
can
classic
do
Hydra
it, I believe.
plus, pulling it back. And
this is so
you know,
insane.
If I could focus in on just one moment in that game, I don't know why Bisu wasn't quite prepared for the Muta switch.
Yeah.
It felt like a very
He was
PvP
so behind on
victory
that, and it's like
against, you know, the gods
he
of
must
Snapchat.
have thought that he was
Where's the
doing
Dark
something
Archon?
weird.
Where's the
He's
shuttle?
like, nah, I'm not falling for this again.
If you're not
Bro,
gonna
you
do
shot
that,
yourself in the foot.
maybe you got to make more Corsairs. I don't know. Maybe the play is
Brutality.
to just make 7 or 8 Templars instead of the usual 4 here. But you know, the Hydras, it's undeniable how strong they were when the push came.
Yeah. The flank into the natural, I think.
Look, he's like going down to attack. Look at the blue on the
mini
minimap.
Hydras out on the map. And
then he was just like,
kinda
okay, well,
knew,
I'm just
like,
gonna
you
come
can
back.
see him kind of like zoning them out from an attack.
Oh shit, I didn't even notice that he had the base in the top right.
Like a well-defended natural.
I
We used
didn't
to
even
talk about this
see
all the
that
time when
base.
Remastered just came back. We saw a lot of Protoss losses that looked exactly like this. You attack a really turtled position, then
But
a
it was
flank
2
comes in,
versus
and you lose
3,
your
not
army.
4.
Protoss armies do
I think what
not
you
want to
do-
be flanked.
I think you need to have Dragoons on hold position hitting the hatchery, and then you need to have some Zealots over here on the side.
Yeah.
Dragoons on the side. By the way, a lot of these storms hit the Dragoons here, but like there's a lot of Zealots just getting sucked into this meat grinder. You're better off with Dragoons just hitting this hatchery. Remember, if you kill a hatch, that's like 1/6 of their production gone.
It's pretty big.
Okay, you know, it's not just like a thing that you could have also returned resources to if you had lost the main hatchery of the expansion. So I think he should have held there, stormed, macroed up, and then you see he has these other armies he could have sent up to reinforce. But don't overextend in a push.
Yeah.
And maybe some of that was the echoes of Game 2 and the desperation from Bisu and how he closed it out in the last minute. But this game was much, much different.
I think whoever
He
wins the
would've been
next
much better
game's going to win the
served just kind of
series.
playing conservatively and pushing slowly and trying to get valuable storms and then going back and macroing once he knows he's won that fight. He's got everything on hold position again.
Yeah, I think your call is exactly right.
Give me a win-loss
overcommitted with
win
the
for
Zealots
whoever
into that
wins.
Natural. If he had more of a shield on the right-hand side and was able to utilize some storms, I think he shreds that Hydra army as well and has that advantage. It's too bad because, you know, he went 9 gates. Like, after the Hydra bust was held, he went up to 9 gates, and you can tell he's going to play aggressive. You don't go 9 gates and make a 3rd base, that's for sure.
Guys, short break. Up next, Game 5 with Soma versus Bisu, currently tied up 2-2.
We're going to go into Roaring Currents, the most exciting map of the season, in my opinion, for sure.
Yeah, this is a very
and,
interesting
like,
map.
I don't know what to think about this because Bisu against Larva, this is the one map Larva punked Bisu on. And Bisu just destroyed everything else. But like Bisu was attacking too much. And the thing is, Larva actually, he's always been known as like a very smart strategic player. But he's god tier on Roaring Currents. He is by far the best player in the world at that, and he is good friends with Soma. So this should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm very hyped on this map. I want to see how this unpacks in PvC because I don't know exactly what it's supposed to look like.
I do, Tasteless. I'll explain it to you in a minute here.
I got this tasteless.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not a
Soma
Protoss
to the
or a
right,
Zerg
Bisu
player,
at the
but
bottom.
I will tell you the ways
So
of it,
Tasteless,
sir.
what this is supposed to look like is exactly what Larva did, but for Bisu, instead of attacking non-stop, you get your Corsairs, you keep them alive, and you go into carriers. That's what this map's supposed to look like, I promise you.
Yeah, carriers,
My bad.
100%.
Um,
100%.
I do think Bisu.
The way
is
that
better
Snow
suited
did
for
that
this
to,
map, being a good
Barracks.
Corsair user.
Just ran him
Bisu's
around with like
also
3 of the
from an era where
games.
they
He just
did
went.
have
He
a
just went
couple islands
carriers.
on maps here and there.
Looked fucking
You know,
super
there
simple.
was, and I'm kind of glad we're going back into this direction a little bit. But you know, we've had good and bad periods for maps, even in ASL. Like remember when Sparkle? That
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
pile
Sparkle.
of
One of the worst
shit
seasons
map
ever.
was in our, one of the,
Shit,
it
man.
just made the whole season not good.
Yeah.
You know, we've had that in the early days too, especially when you go back to like the old WCG days. You know, the maps didn't make a lot of sense, and then there were some island maps, and they weren't great for all matchups, but they did make for some cool games, like PVT as an example, or in mirror matchups. You know, they can still be very, very interesting. But Bisu's from an era where there were maps in competitive play that had 1 or 2 or even more islands on them. So I feel like he's going to be more in his element here. You know, a lot, and in fact, most of StarCraft was actually played on these land-only maps.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking like your Circuit Breakers, Fighting Spirit, you know what I'm saying? Just,
Yeah.
you know, like, and there's a ton of other maps like this, just big, stretching landmass maps, and it's all about, you know, are there valleys, are there open plains, or whatever. But Soma is, you know, one of the youngest, newest, if that, you know, even works with ASL, newer players. He's younger. He wasn't from that same era as Bisu. So I think Bisu can get an edge here, is all I'm trying to say. I think he's going to feel a lot more comfortable on this map.
Well, I think it actually is a Protoss favored map, even though we have Protoss with 0% win against Zerg so far. That 0% win includes best not walling in against Speedlings and Bisu non-stop attacking into the most turtled positions with Ensnare that we've ever seen. So, like, you know, it's just the games from Protoss haven't been that smart or that good on this map yet, but I think they can be. I think that this still should be Protoss favored.
Okay, he's going to continue to harass this drone. We've got 5 Zerglings inbound here. And I think there's only 1 cannon. Is he going to get a block up on this? Got to be careful, because if a couple lings get in, is he just going to go for this? Okay, no, he's going to back up. I was going to say, that would be kind of a weird move from a pro gamer.
Yeah.
You know, to just blindly rush up there. But if you don't have anything protecting that, you got to be careful.
Yeah, attacking those buildings just to make sure his probes don't move. And, you know, the Zerglings didn't do anything in the opening here, but Soma's taking 3 bases. No big surprise. I'm pretty sure he'll take a 4th relatively quickly, too. I don't think you're going to try to Hydra bust Bisu. Like, this guy holds him on flat maps. I don't think he's going to fall here.
Yeah. Although we did have a lot of rushes on this map early on. I guess people kind of thinking because it's counterintuitive, maybe it would work anyways. People might under-defend and still not be ready.
Yeah.
And so...
This
from
is
here,
shifting of the meta. You
it
gotta
does
cut
feel
every
like the
corner
game
you
goes
can.
in a pretty normal direction.
I cut
I'm
sleep,
curious about
because
when the
fuck
Robo
sleep.
will
Who
go
needs
down.
sleep?
You can
Sleep is
go
for the
for
meat,
Corsair into
boys.
Robo.
You're
It
not
was
succeeding,
much
you're
more
not
popular,
moving forward
like
if you're
6 or 7
sleeping.
years ago, including players like Bisu would do it. Basically, a Reaver flies out of your base out of nowhere when you have speed lots. And you could try to do damage that way. But, yeah, I mean, let's just see how he tries to grow into the islands from Bisu's perspective. The Protoss can take an island a little bit quicker than the Zerg if they're both in a hurry.
You know, Bisu is so synonymous with Templars that it's hard to imagine him opening Corsair Reaver here, even though it seems like that's what pretty much everyone's doing. So that would be kind of interesting to see. I can't recall off the top of my head watching Bisu do Corsair Reaver very often, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely done it, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's funny because when I think of Bisu, I don't even think of the unit, the Reaver.
Yeah, me either.
You know? Like, he's so much
Even-
better with other comps.
Even Protoss vs. Terran, like, he's one of the stalwart Arbiter users. He doesn't, like, he still goes Reaver sometimes, of course, but, like, he uses Arbiter more than other players, which doesn't generally pair super well with it.
Right.
So, yeah, it is
he's
double
gone for
Stargate.
double Stargate.
Yeah.
Unshocking.
Damn.
Unsurprising. This was going to be a game where the Zerg is going to have more ground control, but at the same time, you know, if you get those islands, it's hard to imagine Zerg, by the way, expanding to the Protoss side of the map. You know, if it does happen, we'll deal with that when we get there. But, anyways, yeah. I mean, let's see where the game goes from here. And of course, is it going to be a Citadel, or will it be a Robo off of this? It's very hard to go to Stargate into Robo because the Robo costs so much gas. But if you kind of park it for a second, throw the Robo down, and then just go back to double Corsair, you can do it.
Okay, yeah, I do wonder about that as well, because I think he has to with this. Like, it's hard to take a third with this on a regular map, but you may as well just take an island, because you've got the air control 100% if you go to Stargate Corsair.
I think he's making it there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So we just didn't see it at first, but yeah, he is going to go for that Robo Tech, and he's going to continue to make Corsairs. Now, most Protosses, I would say they probably aren't going to kill that many Overlords here, but Bisu's so good at this that someone's going to have to be extra careful.
Well, the Corsair is getting some good scouting. He saw all these drones hatching as the Spire's finishing, so if there are mutas, they aren't going to be super fast. I think as you kind of watch this as Soma and you see the Corsair count build too quickly, like, he hasn't really shown that he's 2 Stargate Corsair yet, by the way, but when he does, like, I wonder if he's delaying it to try to bait Mutalisks out.
Maybe. I mean, look at the... So, well, I think he's not
now
now.
you know.
He's showing these 4, but
Yeah.
there's probably some ideas there, right? You know, if you can show that it's just 1, and then you already have 1, and then 2 extra, and then eventually 3 extra Corsairs, yeah, then I think the Zerg picks a fight they can't win. But, you know, Zerg is going to go up to 4 bases very easily.
Oh, jeez.
And, I mean, look at this control. My God, he's so good.
You look zoned in. This is so insane, these games. And this is my favorite map to play because it's so crazy. So I'm just, like, wondering what the fuck he's going to do. I'm just, like, running scenarios through my head and stuff. Like, what happens if you do this, and then you do that, and then you do that? Well, they do that, then you do that, and then you do that, and then you do that. Yep,
Gonna
it
go
goes
ahead.
there. So can you do Arbiters
Just take
here?
down
Is
the
Arbiters
one
going to
expansion
be
here.
good against
I
Zerg?
think
Could
that's
you
completely
ever
fine for now.
use
Just make some Reavers, maybe
Arbiters
get
versus
shuttle
Zerg?
speed.
Hey, Cication in chat. Hey,
You know,
Ebola,
Soma
how's it
hasn't
going?
really
How
shown
are
us
you?
too much
Welcome,
of a plan. Like,
welcome.
he has a Spire, okay. I think he's
Good
probably
to
got the
see ya,
Spire, and he's
Boya.
just making flyer carapace.
We got
If the
everything
game goes
finished
long,
today, so we
you
got everything
probably want to
posted.
go up to
Tomorrow
at least
is
plus
our
2 flyer
debut
carapace,
of the
right?
new
'Cause you will
YouTube
have to do
channel.
something with the islands, so you're going to need those armor upgrades.
Yeah, we got
But it looks like he's
3
gonna do mostly a
long
Hydra-based
form
defense here. I don't
videos
think we're
and
gonna
2
see a great
shorts
attack
to
from him or
automatically
anything,
launch
but
off the
probably
bat.
upgrading
So we got it
their
all
armor
set up.
upgrade.
All we gotta do is a little bit of promotion
Remember
and
that
promote
you
it a
get
little bit.
+1
Hopefully the
air attack,
algorithm
but you
picks
need
it
a
up.
fleet beacon.
Friday
You're
night,
gonna
going
get
into
your
Halloween,
armor level 2
biotech
air attack
horror
with Protoss.
stories.
And, like,
We'll see where it goes.
everything is so gas intensive.
You know, my
Getting
goal
a
is to
fleet
get
beacon
like
is a
100,
big ass
150
attack.
views.
Again, supply blocking the Zerg. I mean,
Like
it's
between
crazy
all the
because
videos,
it's
not
even
including
like
the
Zerg is
shorts.
attacking out
The
like
shorts
that.
are like you just basically get
The
100
Zerg
for
is
free.
just defending and he's still losing overlords.
Actually, I do want
Yup.
to point out what you just said.
And then just
The
keep
fleet beacon,
making-
if I'm not
keep
mistaken,
making
is the
horror
most
stories.
expensive building in the game at 300.
Because I want to do more suspense, mystery, and
Yeah.
horror that
'Cause,
moves
like,
away from
buildings max out
fantasy
at
and
200 gas,
sci-fi,
the Robo and the
just to
fleet
get a
beacon,
feeling
right?
for the
And then
genre.
It's like then also 300 minerals. So yeah, the fleet beacon is incredibly expensive. Just it's important people actually realize that it's not like.
But
you know,
right
with-
now
with
it's
buildings like,
StarCraft,
yeah,
because
it's a
StarCraft
little
only
bit
happens
high.
twice a
You know, it's a
year.
lot cheaper to do that.
And this is the semifinals. There's only
Yeah,
one
the
more
fleet
day of
beacon is
StarCraft
insanely
after
expensive.
this.
And we will
And then
probably
the
see
ASL is
D-Web here.
over until like
D-Web, Destruction Web,
March.
as it's better known. By the way, he's
March
gone
or
over a
April.
full control group of Corsairs. He's got this one
Crazy.
here now, and he's making even more back at home. So that's
Damn.
Gone
really
by
interesting.
so fast.
Kinda, all
I'm
right,
like, what the
it's
hell? And I thought for sure
Soulkey
Soulkey was going to get his 5th victory in a row.
is
But now I'm cheering for Soma. Well, I was cheering for Soma because he's a proof case positive for people coming back from the military after because Korea has compulsive military service. Yes, Soma using Burrow. Oh my God, Burrow is so underrated.
Bisu watched our cast of him versus Larva. He's like, you know what, Artosis is right. I need +2 air attack and I need carriers. And I think we will see both of those and D-Web.
Yes, he got his build order notebook that had Artosis' face on it, and he said, "You know what? Let me lab this one out." But honestly, I mean, if you have this,
God, look how fast Corsairs kill shit. It's insane.
Now, I don't know that you can kill the Zerg with carriers the same way you think of Terrans being killed, you know, by carriers abusing them. But I don't think Zerg can attack your islands when you've got carriers, right?
Yeah. Like you would absolutely.
And that was Barracks' problem too, was not checking the island. Like he brought his barracks over the island, but he never brought it back. And he missed the expansion by like 3 seconds. It was so brutal to watch.
The thing is, with the islands are really small, right? So everything's really clumped, and that's where D-Web plus carrier breaks everything. Like, even if you have Dark Swarm, it's like, yeah, but he could D-Web over the Dark Swarm and then just target your hatchery, that type of thing.
Yeah, because Dark Swarm doesn't help with structures. But D-Web makes it so your units can't attack.
Where you eventually have to snipe each of the Goliaths and go somewhere else.
So it becomes...
You could easily poke out hatcheries, you could D-Web whole areas.
Back and forth.
There. We'll probably see... Wow, gosh, he's going to get a 4th Stargate. No kidding, man.
This is crazy.
Wow, okay.
I told you, Tasteless, when he played Larva, man. I told you. This is the way you gotta do it. Come on.
I mean, Artosis did call it. He said he's gonna go carriers.
On a pro level has Soma had where he even sees a carrier?
So few.
It's like a Valkyrie. Like, if I see a Valkyrie in a PvT, I'm like, what is that thing? Like,
or a Dark Archon for me against Protoss. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
TVP, like what?
You never
what are you gonna do?
Right? I mean,
Maelstrom only works on biological units.
You know, anybody seeing a scout.
What?
So he's getting the carriers up now.
Fucking ads! They came in way too hard, guys. The ads came in just and went all over it, and I was like, no, don't. And they were like, and I was like, God damn it! It's not a good time. So I told the ads to leave, and then I called the police, and they said ads are allowed to be here, and I said, are you kidding me? And they're like, nope, ads can do what they want, and I'm like,
that's Hawaii.
Isn't that like a two policy system? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, well, did we just accept that? And they're like, well, someone voted for it. I'm like, well, I didn't. They're like, well, I didn't either. And it's like, well, who did? I don't know, but apparently someone did. Well, I'd like to meet them. I don't know. Everyone I says doesn't, so I just assume everyone did. Well, shit. Then we're never gonna get through this ad pandemic. Oh no, that's the whole point, is you're going to beg for ads by the end of it, and all you're going to want is ads. That's the secret, right? It's like reverse psychology. They'll get you one way or another, trust me. They have the information. They know the statistics. Why do you think, like...
So, first off, it's not a spell, but devourers give those acid spores, which is basically...
Study of psychology is a thing for a reason.
So those are very, very helpful. UBC's making a lot of mutas. This might just
patterns are a strong thing. You just got to find the people that are the NPCs, and then get the NPCs to just keep unloading their daily inventory of gold into your inventory. And then the next thing you know, you've got like 30 or 40 NPCs that are just like giving you gold, and you're like, okay, well, shit. I guess as long as you know who to talk to in the right way, and you go around enough, you know, then you can get what you need to get. Too bad you gotta suck a dick in real life for that shit to happen. I mean, what?
But they just aren't attacking each other, so they're building up these ridiculous armies where it almost feels like you have to have spells to have a chance.
So I don't know
Here
exactly how the fights are supposed
there
to
it is, D-Web.
By the way.
There it is. Oh, he's getting devourers.
They're all devourers.
Yeah.
So, you know, we saw this in the very early days of StarCraft, air-to-air fights, and they kind of just went away because the map just went away. So we're like back in here. I don't know exactly what it's supposed to look like. I know that if Devourers can get enough of those spores on the Carriers or Corsairs, Mutas can be very, very scary.
Yeah.
Very true.
Look at that.
Because
Look at
they
the
do.
Devours
Remember this
themselves,
thing?
yeah, they don't actually kill things quickly.
They lower their
but
attack
the
speed.
negative armor debuffs, when you get
and
like 10
negative
of those
armor.
on something, you fly mutas in, and everything pops really quick. But just like a quick thing to mention, as far as air units against air units, Corsairs beat everything for supply in the game except for Valkyries. So, like, if you are 100% max on Zerg stuff, and then you're 100% max on Corsairs, the Corsairs will win that.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Corsairs very clumped up, and
Oh
the
my
acid
God.
spores are going to connect. Huge amount of acid spores on this army. I don't know where this is supposed to go. We're just going to kind of see who wins.
Yeah, he's just going for the carriers.
are now down to 3 in number, and well, would you look at that?
Yeah.
The Zerg is going to chase him all the way away.
Well, that's, I think Soma's going to win, guys. I think Soma's going to the finals. He's going to win the next game. I'm like freaking 100% sure.
Painful.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how you...
Whoever
recover
wins
that,
this,
because now
they're
you
going to
can
win.
work Guardians, and you can start to push all these islands.
Fuck yeah.
Well, I think
ZVP
that the,
final,
main
let's
problem
go.
Here is that he brought his army out and just fought willy-nilly in like the middle of the map.
Yeah,
Right?
that was a really
I
bad
feel like
idea.
Shouldn't you, as you build up to this,
And the
if you have
more,
one
like,
size
you can
storm on
take
top of that as
damaged
well,
mutas, turn
it
them
changes
into
your
devourers, and they'll
one
get back to full
size
health.
Or
Well, that's
any
why it
other
was
spell.
interesting.
Any other spell. Like, it could be a Maelstrom, and it'll change the battle completely. But the Side Storm would be best, obviously.
Oh, Maelstrom would be god tier. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you know, it's funny.
He's
like,
taking
when I
all
saw the
3
fourth
islands.
Stargate, I thought, okay, well, don't you want the other stuff that Protoss has?
Yeah.
Because yeah, Psystorm, especially Maelstrom, like 2 Dark Archons and like 2 Templars, you're gonna melt this.
Oh,
But
I think
now
he
we
went
see
to
this
distract
attack coming
him.
in here, and Bisu's basically staying back and defending.
Yeah, he's just
But
got
one big
drones in
problem
there.
when you go for carriers is they can only be in one place at a time.
Yeah.
And even though they fly, they're not that fast, right? So there's a world where Zerg just takes the other
Man,
bases
you
and
never
knocks
see
another
Guardians
location,
and Devourers.
and
This is
Bisu
fucking
can't keep up.
crazy. I love it.
Soma, by the way, is taking Hawaii in the top left.
Yep.
And, you know, over here on that right-hand side, second Australia is being taken by Bisu. But the Guardians are starting to help him push everything in. And Bisu
Oh,
gives this phase
shit.
up.
I think Bisu loses this
I
map.
think so.
Yeah.
It felt like we were building up to this climax, and then we had the 2 armies fight, and you know we never get to really see this, so I kind of don't know exactly how it tends to math out. But
He should have gone Psystorm instead of
really had an
D-Web.
understanding
Damn.
of even this aspect of the matchup, which is
You
you know,
can't-
if
you
you're
can't,
both forced to make air units.
You can't mine
play
from
that
that
out.
base.
Bisu initially looked strong, and
Yeah,
it seemed
3
like he had a
armor.
pretty good plan
That's
for
crazy.
capturing locations on the board, but he then did not have the answer for the fight in the middle of the map. And I think keeping only 3 Stargates and getting maybe 2 gateways,
Yeah.
Dark Archons, Templars,
Yeah.
maybe he wins. Remember, Maelstrom catches everything.
Yeah.
Maelstrom does not discriminate. It will
Yeah.
get everything that Zerg has.
Yeah.
And Zerg units are going to be bunched up. They are
Yeah.
going to be grouped up a lot of times. And, even
And then you can
doing
kill
like
them. They
half,
just literally, it
or a
deletes,
third,
it
a lot of
deletes,
times that's
they're
all you
paralyzed.
get
They can't do anything.
Yeah, or
Then you just kill them.
Again, the battle that we saw, one Psystorm wins it for Bisu, and if you add in more than that, it gets even worse. So, like, we really need
Right.
to see Bisu not just make. This is like a lazy BGH player.
Yeah.
Like, he's got the
Yeah.
base of the army correct. Like, this is how I play BGH because I do it to relax. I just make carriers. Like, I will not cast spells with it. You know. It's like I'm not going to try hard
Right.
at BGH. We're just going to fly around with carriers and try to win, and that's kind of what he's doing. Where it's like, well, no. Get a couple size storms in, and the mutas and the devourers are going to be, they're just going to melt.
Yeah, and the Devourers seem to be so high in number. Let's see with the spread. Let's watch this again. He targets, looks like the Corsairs initially. Now, the Acid Spores also slow down rate of attack, which doesn't impact carriers, but it seems like it makes the Corsairs useless.
But he is
Definitely
losing
weakens,
everything.
But then he wins that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when there's enough Acid Spores, the Corsairs' firing rate's so slow, it seems like the Devourers can then ignore them and try to target carriers. But this fight was very well won here. by Bisu, and he's able to fight back and reclaim that island.
Oh man,
I
can
think he
Bisu
has
come
some
back?
counterattack potential here. He can probably do a little bit of counter damage, but most importantly, he needs to retake these islands. Like, he cannot just sit on what he's got. He cannot.
Oh,
do it.
there's still an army.
He won't be able to afford anything. Yeah, see, he's almost mined out. His main is mined
He's
out. His
mined out
natural's mined
every
out.
single
Not
game.
sure how
It's
much it has.
crazy how
There in
close
100
these
years,
games are.
But he's got to get these bases mining.
The acid spores just slowly go away, right?
Yeah.
They just dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so, but, you know, 9 acid spores, that's enough time to probably still have acid spores on you before your next fight.
Yeah, I think it's mostly cleaned up now. They don't last a super long time.
Okay, so this shows how little I know about devours and how they work. I thought they went down 1 tick at a time. I guess they all just go away pretty quickly.
You don't play enough BGH here, Tastes. Actually, I'm not sure exactly.
They go on a timer, so if you hit 9
I'm not sure
all
myself.
at the same time, they'll all drop at the same time. But if you have one going 1, 2, so it's like each stack lasts like 25 seconds or something like that.
Were fighting alone during this
And then
time.
they stack up
He's
to
gonna
9,
de-web
and
these
then
Hydras. Good D-webs are going to make a big difference here.
this is huge.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
getting there now,
huge.
And, I mean, this seems okay.
Yeah.
I think
I mean, the
Bisu.
Hydras, as long as they're
You know what?
D-web,
I
I mean,
think
they're not
Bisu-
doing anything.
Bisu has it. He
And-
could move
and
the Hydras.
For those of you that don't know, D-web, this spell, you can't, ground units can't attack, including your own.
Yeah.
So air units can just punish you. Now you need to have a couple more D-webs laid out here because Hydras are scary.
Now,
Wow.
Bisu has +3 air attack, right? Like, I actually never did check that, but I assume he must.
I wasn't looking either.
I'm pretty
mean-
sure he
Man,
does.
this
I
is
think he has
so
+3
bad.
Shields.
What I would have done is I would have just made a shit ton of Zerglings. He's got 1,500.
It's one
Make a
armor
shit ton of
and second
Zerglings,
mouse over
cracklings, and just go
interceptor
blow
to
up
know
his
for
fucking
sure. When he
base.
clicks on a Corsair, we can't really tell.
Right? Like,
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
he
sure
has to have
someone's gonna
plus
lose
two,
now.
Right? I mean, that's
He has to. Yeah,
that's
let's
the one
just
thing
assume
you
he
do
does.
like, when you're going carriers. Yeah, let's
Mhm.
just treat it like it's that. Okay, so what's mining out? Most of the Zerg side of the map is mined out. So, you know, maybe he actually does win this. Hold on a second.
Well, he can
And
deny
remember
this base forever, I think. Right? I think he can
Yeah.
deny, like, Eastern Australia, Middle Australia, and this base just north of him. Like, I think he denies those nonstop, and Soma relies on top left and Bisu's new base, like on the 9 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
One
Bisu, if
issue
he
is
just
that
builds up Psy Storms and puts them, like, I'm pretty sure you can become invincible. You know?
Well,
if you have enough Psy
remember-
Storms on the islands and stuff, like, yeah.
Yeah, Psystorm is going to be huge. Remember that you're making interceptors all the time
Yeah.
with this. So, like, a lot of your resources, like, if you watch Bisu, like, first of all, he's not mining.
But look at
He's
his
now
gas
next
versus his
finish, but you
minerals,
get what I'm
right?
saying. But, like, you've spent a lot of money just kind of, like, making these interceptors because Hydras and everything else kill them pretty fast. So he's going to come in here again. Now, where are the storms? Oh, my God, it's killing me. Beautiful. This is where I
Insane
think you start to
storms.
see Bisu win the game.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because Psystorm is just devastating no matter what unit you are
Yeah.
in the game. And the Devourers are going to be clumped up. The Hydras, you know, they're not so big in number that D-Web can't just mute their potential.
Well, there's a
Oh, but
Hydra
here we
drop.
go.
He's got to get over there. And actually, with the D-Web, I think he might be able to save this. He throws D-Webs down onto some of these Hydras, at least. That is a big air army coming for him, though.
Yeah, huge fleet moving in. And, you know, again, when the Corsairs have that acid spore on them, it takes so long to kill anything that the mutas, like, are all basically still here. And
But
the Nexus is
he's
gone. So I think
strangling
that
him,
couple
man.
are
This
gonna
is
come
so
back, probably gonna be,
crazy. Bisu's almost out of
basically
minerals.
drying up. I think the
He's-
only Hail Mary play he has is to take this base outside in the front. But, you know, at the same time,
Oh no. Oh
I think
no.
there's just
Oh
too many
no.
resources in general. I mean, even with the resources he has in the bank, he's looking good. But, you know, he doesn't have a ton of gas either. Someone's got this.
He just got rid of 6 High Templars with like 5 Hydras.
Yeah.
Bisu had to storm everything and make our.
All right, Bisu's out of money.
Nothing standing there, just like High Templars out in the middle of nowhere.
Bisu has
now
nothing.
Bisu is not mining. He can't replace anything. Yeah, I think Soma's got it now. You know, I think the whole game looks different if Bisu hadn't just randomly attacked
Yeah.
in the center with only Corsair carrier.
Yeah.
If he had just waited and gotten the High Templars, because you saw how much the High Templars turned everything around.
He needs to kill that other carrier. It's so close, but it's got shields still.
The big question
It's
is
like
gonna
no
be how
health,
more
but full
interceptors can he
shields.
keep alive here?
Oh god, here we go. It's another round
Because
of...
it seems like he can win some of these fights. What does he target? He basically goes for first shot on the carriers, and then he just kind of turns his attention to the Corsairs.
Yeah, I know. He's got it.
This game's done.
Yeah.
Someone's going to lead 3.
Yeah, so I think someone's going to the
2,
finals.
And, you know,
So someone's going to the
I think
finals.
bring Bisu back on this map a couple more times. He looks a lot stronger.
Devourers are pretty damn fucking strong.
ASL.
Yes.
Because I think these are games that are different. They're interesting. And they don't seem to be really stupid for one side.
Yeah.
Like really easy or you know. So
Insane.
I want to see more of this.
I want,
like it.
yeah.
Where's
Where's
Bisu getting minerals from? Oh, he's
like,
long
it
distance
almost never does
mining.
when it's a crazy map. Like the crazy map of the season almost never comes back, but this particular one I'd like to see. GG. Soma
Oh
takes the
my
lead, 3-2.
god.
Yeah. Gotta go
Look
back
at
to the
Soma.
basics.
He's like, that was such a
You know,
long
air
game.
versus air in PvZ. You know, that was a map that was a lot of isolated islands, but it wasn't like you couldn't have Templars in pretty much any fight on that
So
map. You know, they'd just be sticking up
fucking
and laying
close.
mats
This is
around the island.
crazy.
But yeah, I think Dark Archons, maybe even Dark Archons more than Templars, but Dark Archons and Templars, like, you're going to be good. You're going to win those fights. And then we got to see where does Zerg go from there. We never saw Queens. We never saw Ensnare. We never saw Parasite, which could have played a big role.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think the way Soma approached it was pretty good, though. He lost lots of Scourge against the Supermass Corsairs that Bisu was making over the 11. I think Soma was trying to catch him where he could reduce the 11 down quickly enough, and Bisu wasn't having it because he was reinforcing. So that was a really good play from Bisu. And Snare definitely could have helped against that, but at the end of the day, Soma does take it down. Bisu definitely looked improved from how he played it against Larva, and like you said, I think you give him a few more games there, and he might become unbeatable on the map. It's just he doesn't have it figured out as well as the Zerg players do, I think.
Well, Soma's one win away.
Yeah.
Snow is waiting in the finals for one of these two players. Soma takes the island map in a very refreshing, different-looking game. Thank you, ASL, for that map. I really like that. We're going to go now into Game 6 here.
All right.
Bisu needs to win this one and the next, because if Soma takes even just one game, it's over.
Yep.
All right, Knockout is our next map.
Oh, he's
Definitely
going
a
to
map
get
where we have
knocked
to be
out on
very careful
Knockout.
not
Oh,
letting Zerg
man.
get
What a
contain on you.
day. What a
But
day
he is
being
good
knocked
against
out on
Microbuster because of that
Knockout.
little low ground divot. So, going to be an interesting one. I really want to see Bisu win this and bring us to a game number 7.
Guys, we're going to go into that Game 6 right now here. The map is Knockout. Bisu versus Soma continues on.
GG! Let's go!
Both players sharing the right side of the map. Soma at the top, Bisu at the bottom. Quick plug, guys. Consider going on the Patreon. They've got an app if you're on your phone, if you're on your PC. Just tab open the website. They got a bunch of great stuff on the website where you can support StarCraft, not just us. They've got Seawall where you can download any replay that happens on Battle.net, so you can get any pros game on there. They've got, what is it, Terran Academy, School for Zergs, and Rise of IR if you want to get translated pro gamer build orders. And of course, there's ASL English.
Yeah.
Which
And,
if you want to support us directly.
Yeah, BSL as well. Shout out to BSL. It's the
Yeah,
foreigner
BSL.
equivalent of ASL. Great league run by Zero. But yeah, I support almost everyone that you said there. It's,
same. So
it's worth it.
This is where StarCraft's at. It's going to be community support. It's the same thing with the Koreans outside of this ASL tournament. But even the English casting, it's supported by you guys. But Blizzard isn't funding this directly, but that doesn't mean it has to go away. You can support the people that are supporting the game. And it means the world to us. So consider getting on Patreon. Support us, but support those other projects as well. And I'm glad you mentioned BSL Artosis. I have no idea how I skipped that over.
Well, you live in Korea and never played BSL, so it makes sense.
Yeah, that's why. That is
Yeah.
actually the answer.
Big chunk of my year is laddering for that tournament. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you much, guys, for the support. And
Yeah,
taking a look at
Tasteless
this
is
game.
officially
BSU does get the
Korean because he
fast
married a
start off.
Korean chick. Lucky bastard.
And, well, obviously he's got to go Forge. He wanted to go Nexus first, it looks like, but that's not going to happen.
And poor Artosis got a Canadian.
So
We're pretty bad.
right now, Bisu's doing a great job delaying and now putting the flag
And
down
he's
there.
like,
That's always a great move. You go
fuck,
Forge,
now
and
I'm
then you
just
see
gonna
that they're
go
going over pool,
to this
and
other
they want to try to throw down.
I see what
Delay it as
happens.
long as you can with that probe, and then throw a pylon down. It's a beautiful way to slow the game down. And it only slows the game down.
Oh my god, what?
That's insane. He won the fight. That's
How
so
did a
bad
drone
for
win the
Bisu.
fight?
That's crazy. Bisu even did the little glitch where he makes the probe walk on top of the drone, but Soma was really on top of it and got that drone attacking again quickly. And of
Whoever
course, he's
hits
trying to slow
first
the
kills
cannon
the
a
other
little
one
bit,
if
but
it's
I think the
continuously.
cannon
If they're
finishes
both
right
sitting
as
there
long
and
as they get
attacking,
there
it's whoever
anyways.
hits first kills the
Be
other
careful,
one.
the rush distance
Probe
on
or
this map
drone.
is crazy close.
It is true.
Like, you can almost make it draw a straight line down here. I think that the cannon's going to be done. Yeah, so it's going to finish, but, like, you got to be super careful here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is one of these maps, like, you don't want to miss a mineral boost when you're mining. And so, remember, they're both in very close proximity. It could be tempting for Soma to try to go for 3-hatch Hydra again. Even though it's not great on this map, like, the travel distance is pretty short. Pushes from Protoss are going to be pretty scary as well.
Yeah, the probe looking to scout, but can't quite get up there with the 3 lings on the ramp. Bisu being very careful not to throw it away. Of course, he sees that 3rd hatchery up at the mineral base. You know, this tight formation. It could point towards a 3-hatch Hydra bus. You know, sometimes we see hatcheries put much further away for the 3rd base, but this one's nice and close.
Yeah, he's not worried at all, I don't think.
So the Nexus is going to finish up. And, you know, Bisu tends to be a little bit predictable with the mid-game tech, and I think it's because he's the best Corsair
Yeah,
Zealot player in
Templar.
the world. Like, he doesn't do stuff like Mini where he's like, I'm going to make 6 DTs this game. You know, or Best where he's got some kind of weird, I don't know, timings or you know, he has a very straightforward approach. We'll see if it's the same here now. But right now, remember, Bisu, if he loses a game, he's out.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Bisu
You gotta play super safe here, right?
Able to push here. By the way, Soma nods to the most standard macro play, at least for now. It's going to be layer tech. There may be some plot twists here. Let's not forget he did some crazy stuff earlier post-layer, but most of the time when you see layer, you know at least if something crazy is going to happen, it's going to be a little bit later on. One Zealot sneaks across the map, and remember, he can both hit this drone here, and he can also flee into the wedge right there in between those minerals.
And that's going to be annoying to clear, but is completely doable with 4 lings. And Bisu, yeah, just staying back there. Going to come up and get rid of this.
Oh, that
Ling's actually stuck there for a
Zergling
moment.
being
That makes
stuck
Bisu's trade
like
even
that.
better. That's so funny. Like, even the 1 ling getting stuck on the drone for a second is like, yeah, that slows everything down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, you said before, and I wanted to mention, but you had a lot to say there. You mentioned, like, you know, Best has kind of his wild attacks, and Mini has his funny strategies that he uses, but Bisu plays, like, a more normal standard style, right? The reason, again, to build on what we've been saying about Bisu, it's not that he plays a standard style. It's that he invented how to play this matchup, and it became standard. This is Bisu's style that everyone else uses.
Yeah, it's like he was the guy that figured out we need to go like E4 in chess. And like apparently Protosses were only able to move the rook pawn before that. It was like pretty bad.
That's so true.
But
so
that's really
true.
what 2-gate is. It's like
God.
pretty. It makes the game pretty hard. You know, once you get far enough along. But yeah, he basically had this kind of core foundation.
I don't get the
play.
chess
I don't
references. I
really
wish I did,
Mini,
though.
As an example, he's probably the best example out of the mix. but he's got all these weird things that kind of look like this, but they're different. Did we have +1 air attack on the cybernetics core? I didn't actually see.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even look at the screen in a PVZ until about 8 minutes in, so I don't even know. I hear Corsairs, and that sounds about right, so we should be around 6:30 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check in a couple minutes here.
Okay, he did it. He did not go for the +1 air attack, but he's gone for 3 gates in his main. So he's doing something a little bit different here. He's going to go heavy into Zealots, and this is probably him playing out the position on the map. They're really close. So a lot of games you'll see him just go on 2 gateways and kind of sit back. And instead what he does is he's gone up to 4 gates. He has like the bare minimum to not die to mutas. But here's the problem. Zerg went for mutas, so this puts Protoss in a weird spot. Because now you have like you have 3 Corsairs is the minimum if you don't know what's going on in the game to have. And now we have all these mutas out. The Zealots are going to go right out on the map, but he's going to see the gateways. He knows exactly what kind of game this is. Zealot speed's not done, but it's probably a couple seconds out.
Yeah, and with that +1 finishing, that is going to help out these Zealots so much. This heavy Zealot style. We've definitely seen Mini using it a lot, including on Knockout. And here we go, +1 and Zealot legs both finish at about the same time, and he hits the natural.
Okay, so he's hitting. These mutas are forced to try to fight and respect the Corsairs, which allows the Zealots to do even more damage. I love the idea behind
Oh,
it.
he did? Okay, good.
Care that much about the Corsairs. As long as the Zealots start to
He
get
gets
in
the
there,
den.
start to cause enough of a problem. The den's being targeted. I'm curious how this is going to affect the rest of the game.
Dude, are we going to go to game 7?
Tech, but then again, if you're against +1 Zealots and you don't have armor, Lings are going to die really fast to Zealots.
That is for sure. It's not that it's that expensive, though. He definitely could remake that Hydralisk Den without too much pain.
Sure.
But yeah, he did end up losing a lot of Corsairs there, so maybe a recommitment.
There's no way. There's not enough time
to
left.
Ling here would be appropriate for Soma, just to make
The
sure
game
the
after this would have to be
Zealots are
3.5
kind of
minutes
stifled
long. It'd have to be a 4-pool.
I think the den makes even faster than the spawning pool. Like, it makes crazy fast.
Yeah. It is a very fast building.
Oh, no.
Nothing mining over here.
Gotta get those
And
drones
Bisu,
mining.
I mean, he's still staying back. He's got his 2nd and his 3rd cannon. He's restarted the Corsair count. All of the tech is kind of delayed. Soma's not dead, and he's probably not going to die either. The tech has been hiccuped, and it's going to kind of come out at a slower pace, but it's probably worth it because Soma took a beating. He lost some drones. He lost that Hydra Den and possibly the upgrade that was inside of it. But Bisu's playing with a lot of caution here. I mean, he basically decided that what Soma would do from here is go for like a reverse Ogre Zerg game.
Reverse Ogre Zerg game.
Scourge.
Okay.
Yes. And instead, Soma played pretty conservatively. He just stayed back and macroed up. So Bisu's probably overmade cannons. Not ideal, but I think he has to play his hand as well as he can, right?
Oh, for sure. You know, Soma really looking to try to finish Bisu off here. It's such a different situation when you're playing against the best Protoss, most accomplished Protoss of all time, and you're like 3-2, you're about to get to the finals, versus you go to a Game 7, which is something that Bisu is going to be much more comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's going to push up. When you have an Archon here, the dance is basically where you want the Corsairs to run under the Archon, and the Archon's supposed to catch the Scourge and kill them, or the Mutas. He's pushing now. The SimCity's like, okay, by the way, Soma's doing the right thing in that he's targeting the Archon with the Sunken Colony or the Hydras. Because it's much harder to fight this if you don't have an Archon here. And it looks like the Archon is going to go down. But has the damage already been done? Can he already come through here? The Corsairs are just going to tear through these mutas, and now the Overlords are undefended. Oh, Artosis, this is insane.
Oh my God! With the drones are trying to just kind of stop position here and fight against the Zealots to stop that Sunken from dying and screw up their AI. But it's not working that well. Bisu's targeting down what he needs to. He gets on top of the Sunken, gets rid of that as well. The Zealots will finally be cleaned up, but definitely Bisu did very well with this attack.
The Zealots are going to come up again. The Hydras don't have a lot of surface area. The drones can be pretty handy. The Archon was not in the mix. Where are the Corsairs?
Yeah, no. Bisu's falling
I
apart.
Where I
Well-
saw Corsairs chasing Overlords.
Yeah, maybe he ended
But I
up
don't
losing
see them
them.
anymore.
There could have
Callie!
been
Hey,
Scourge or
what's
something
up,
that could have
Callie?
been out.
How's
I'm
it
not entirely sure.
going? How are you, Callie?
This is kind of scary.
Hmm.
They're just sitting there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he needs to keep doing damage. Maybe the Scourge chased him back far enough. He had to remake a certain amount.
Mm.
You know, Bisu's so close to taking Soma out.
Yeah.
He's so close. In fact, Bisu even scouts 12 o'clock to confirm that he's in the position that he's in. He says, okay, there's no fourth base here. Zerg is super wobbly. Scourge going to try to come in here and hit that.
How's your
Corsair.
day
He's pulling
been,
away.
Callie?
Yeah,
And,
Bisu.
I mean, right
What are
now,
you up
this-
to, brother?
This third base is so weak. Templars are going to
You
be
been on any
chasing
more
across
writing?
the map. And the
You've
Zerg
just
is
been
really,
chilling.
really weak when you turtle versus storm.
Yeah.
Because you just go in that little pocket that they're all sitting in.
Oh
like this.
my God! Really, really good side storm right there. And the Zealots coming from both sides to sandwich these Hydralisks. They don't have anywhere to run. Can hardly be microed in this position, but he has a decent amount. And the surface area of the Zealots is not that good. But more Zealots coming up here from Bisu, keeping that heavy pressure on.
This is
You know,
crazy.
it feels like Bisu has this potential, and every time he has just not enough.
Yeah, he needs a couple side
He's gone up
storms.
to 8 gateways. That's always an indicator that, you know, the last two things you get are the last two gateways generally. You know, I guess maybe Templar energy or something like that, but oh, he's going to drop a couple more Corsairs. But that's usually a sign when it's like, I'm only pushing now. I've gotten all the tech I need. Dragoon range should be done, although it might still be being upgraded just because of the way this game played out. But Bisu needs to be careful. You know, when you get Dragoons in an army with Zealots, it changes the way you push because you can just hold position and the Dragoons will take care of the hatches. The Zerg can't turtle. When you just have Zealots, suddenly the Zerg can hide behind the little maze-like infrastructure they built. And the Zealots can't get their surface area to do their damage. They have to fight one by one. Oh my God, I'm sorry. This Robo is wildly late. Which is fine, by the way. I guess I shouldn't say late in the sense that like he should have had it earlier because there's no lurkers here, but he is going to get that Robo tech. I don't even know if lurkers are in the cards right now.
Yeah.
Here for Soma.
It's very rare to see Hydra Muta Lurker on 3 base. It's just you don't really have the gas for it. It's like either Lurker or Muta. And he has been kind of going into that Muta over and over again. Okay, so here Bisu comes. He's going to go up this hill, but he doesn't have his side storms right there. He pulls back a little bit, but he's taking a lot of damage on these Zealots already. Soma doing a good job with this micro. Very good storm from Bisu, getting a lot of damage on those Hydras.
Another great
Nice
storm.
That's going to make those Hydras so much squishier. One Templar gets caught on the right, and somehow it's not dead and gets a storm off. Archon morphine, sunken colony on the
Crazy.
outside.
He has
The
one more
Hydra
storm.
count is plummeting. I think we may have reached the tipping point, and I think.
Dude,
we
how is
can
this
win
going to
game,
game
bring it to
7?
That is so amazing. Could not have written a better script for this series than what we're looking at
GG?
right here. GG! And Bisu brings us to game 7.
Holy fuck.
I am
Who
so
knows?
happy.
I don't even know now. I swear to God, Soma was going to win.
How good this is.
This
I
is crazy.
cannot believe. What?
I don't know who's going to win.
Fan fiction, man.
This is
It has
one
to
of
be
the
a 4
best
pool.
games
Next game
ever.
has to be a 4
Yeah,
pool.
it is a fantastic series that we're looking at right now. They're both playing really, really strongly, taking huge advantages, coming back from behind. Every type of scenario you can think of is being shown here tonight.
By the way, we've been saying this a lot, like, this is the best ever. Tell me I'm wrong. Prove to me that I'm wrong about this. It's like every day is getting better than the day before here
Yeah.
in ASL. These games are wild. These games are insane.
Yeah.
Some are definitely better than others, but this series has been off the hook. And by the way, talk about a great variety of games.
Yeah, this series is kind of making me remember Best vs. Queen from last season, which I thought was one of the best PvZ series I've ever seen. I believe that was the round of 8, if I'm recalling correctly. Yeah, but yeah, it's a wild one here, man. And just I love the variety of strategies that they've both been using as well, and the fact that Bisu, I I don't want to say he took this from Mini, but this is how Mini plays this map consistently, is like really heavy speed zealot. Like really trying to abuse his opponent. And maybe it does have to do with this short travel distance that you were talking about, but we definitely saw Bisu do a very good job here with it.
It does seem like you have 3 Corsairs, and then like if they just went Hydras, okay, I'm going to kill Overlords. If they just went Mutas, well, I'm going to attack you with this, and then your Mutas are not attacking my Zealots. You know what I'm saying? That seems to be the idea, is to just lean really hard into these mass Zealots and try to fracture the Zerg. We saw these pushes. These are pretty rare, honestly, but they make sense in games like this, is you're just hitting them hard with Zealots, and then you're just slow dripping Templars across the map to try to hit them with Storms, and that fractures their turtled position. They can't just sit in between the drones.
Yeah, the Zealots, like, he just kept bringing them up, dripping them into that base. Good pullbacks there as well, though. All right, Tasteless. I think we're going to go to a commercial break here before Game 7, give these guys a little bit of a breather. And the final map is going to be Litmus. A little bit different map here. Quick commercial break, and we'll decide who goes to the finals.
There's only 20 minutes left. This game has to be super fucking fast because there's still the intro. Or there's still the outro, like the interview. So this literally has to be like a center gate or a 4-pool or fucking something. This has to be a less than 5-minute game.
This is it. We are going to the final.
Or it's a less than 5-minute fucking interview.
Soma could not have brought a more exciting.
This is so
epic
crazy.
series.
Kelly!
Wow, really that is the case, and it has been so close. It's
True,
really
Queen.
hard to say who's even
See, Callie always
going
shows
this
up.
next map. I really don't know at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's 50-50, right? I mean, that's what the whole series has been pointing to, is that, you know, no one seems to be able to have the upper hand for too long. It's going to come down to this one game. This is a very different map. I don't know if it's going to have a very different looking game. We're going to be on Litmus. It is a map with only 2 spawn points, although PvZ seems to be a matchup where people don't tend to exploit this. Like, we're probably not going to have 2-gate proxy. That's very not popular. I don't know. Let's get into it. Remember, guys, the winner of this goes on to face off against Snow for the ASL Season 20 Finals.
Crazy! Absolutely fucking crazy. Queen!
Okay, Soma in the top, Bisu in the bottom. Both players always share the right side of the map here.
Yep.
I bring that up because there is a world where, like, if you were going to Hydra bust, you could go around the normal Corsair spotting path. You know what I'm saying? You could go more toward the middle. There's basically like 2 lanes in the middle of the map that are split. We've seen this play a huge role in PvP and PvT. We'll see if it plays a role in this game as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So something to mention here, of course, is the fact that there are 2 geysers in the main. Now, these geysers have 3,000 gas. Okay?
Right.
So they don't last as long, but that does give you a little gas bump. And if I had to guess which side that's a little bit better for, I would say probably Bisu, so that you can get those High Templars out a little bit more easily. But we'll see if that even gets used. There's a possibility we don't even see that really come into play too much. And as far as the speed of depletion, you know, workers gather 300 gas a minute. So it's like 10 minutes, and the geyser is going to be down to 2 gas per run instead of 8. And that's compared to something like 17 minutes on a 5,000 geyser. So just to put it into a little bit of perspective, there is more gas than normal. And we'll see if Bisu has anything planned for that or not.
It would be the Protoss that would probably be able to leverage the extra gas. Protoss need gas more than any race needs gas in any matchup. Sorry, Protoss need gas in PvZ more than any race needs gas in any matchup. I guess the only comparison I could think of that might. Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could get Archons and your upgrades, and I mean, there's so much you can do with this.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bisu or exactly how he'll try to take advantage of this. We'll find out though, because if there's a way to do it, he will do it. But you know, basically the whole game of
my hip
PvZ
just
with
cracked.
fast expand like Bisu is you're trying to
It
get
felt
up to
bad,
the
and then it
archives
felt good, and now it
while
feels
first
really
getting
good.
a Stargate out to just check and make
Like,
sure you're not
that's
getting
what
cheesed.
that was.
Then you're trying to get Storm, and eventually you're going to close out all that tech with, you know, besides all the Templars you make, the Robo Bay, the Observers, and then all that gas for Dragoons. Don't forget about the upgrades. So you're really trying to just get the bare minimum most of the time, and as far as like attacking units and defenses, and just get that up there. So this might make for some unique timing attacks or some unique tech you don't normally see in PvZ, because 3 gases on 2 bases is a very, very new concept within maps in StarCraft 1. And it's a very welcome addition on a map like this one.
Yeah, definitely makes it more interesting. You know, we're talking about these high-level things, but I'm just waiting for someone to start Zergling speed. Oh, God, he's going to do it. Oh, my God, I was saying it as a joke, but, like, wouldn't it be funny if you just railed him with Zerglings, just like a million Zerglings show up and it ends the series and we're like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Too bad.
That's what I was thinking.
So he doesn't
That
wanna
was
have
my
anything
thought.
to do with the mid game here.
Do you think it's a Zergling
It's 6
speed
lings
all
hatch
in?
there.
Or
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
2 lings hatch. Is there going to be 6 more lings hatching?
No, this is all in.
I don't see any drones, man.
Oh, you're right. It is a speedling all in.
Artos says, okay, he needs to plug this up. Now, he
You can
did go
still
for 4 to the
lose,
entrance.
right?
The cannon's up. This is not airtight. There are 2.
Oh no, he's gonna
Places
send
that you
the
wait,
lot
wait,
across the map.
Of course,
Oh.
it's Bisu. He always sends zealots out on the map.
Oh, my God.
Link speed's almost done. Oh my God,
He's
just
trying to
he
spot
needs to go back.
this.
There it is.
Okay, he sees it. He sees it. He sees it.
Can he pull the
But
probes?
this is not airtight.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I think someone's gonna win this now.
Yeah. I think
Oh
someone
my
just
God.
won.
Yeah, without a cannon
No.
here, this is pretty
GG.
impossible. The Zergling's just going to run and surround these probes.
Oh
They're
my
getting so many
God.
good
Yes,
hits.
Soma!
The AI a little bit. He's trying to reset controls right now, but also not let the cannon die.
Oh,
my
so
God.
good.
Yeah,
I
obviously the
love
Lynx
it.
gets 4
I
probes and wins
love it. The
easily.
mind
He just left that
games.
cannon. And that is, I was joking, but, you know, not a terrible plan here from Soma.
And
to
look at all
end
the
it
lings
super
coming in.
aggressively.
Yeah. Bisu's gonna try his best, and he's not gonna give up until the last possible second. But this is so many lanes,
Yeah,
and they
this is
surround the cannon.
He's got
The
more
zealot
lanes
is
than
gonna
lings
go
than
down,
drones
and
right
there's
or
gonna be
probes
nothing
right
left
now.
to protect the probes or the pylon, the gateway. Bisu is dead.
Yeah.
That is it.
GG.
Unfortunate for Bisu, he fought hard. He was so close to getting that shot at the championship, but he died as so many Protoss do every single day to Masslings. GG and Soma on his
Woo!
first ASL battle.
And Soma wins! Oh my God. I knew it was going to be a
Beautifully done.
cheese.
Soma
It had to be.
very
The game
well.
had to be
Kind
super
of
short.
Crazy move to go for that all in.
Woo!
All those technical games. But, you know, if you look at the wall-in for the national
I'm so
expansion,
happy.
there are 2
Oh, I'm
entries.
so happy. I do not want to
Have
see
wall-in
a
where you approach from the
PvP
left to the
final.
right instead of the top or the
It'd
bottom.
be so boring.
You know, if you approach from the left or the right,
Soma
gateway
versus
which means you can only fit through the
Snow.
pylon or above the gateway. But there's ways to block that.
100%
And it's a
Soma
very
can win.
large entry point to the right
Soma
of
can
the
beat
gateway,
Snow.
the bottom wall-in,
Soma can take the championship
the bottom right starting
and
position.
come immediately
And,
back
you
from
know,
the
we also
military
know
and pop the
Bisu's kind of
fuck
famous for
off.
setting that first zealot out.
No one needs to
And I
worry
think
about
that the way
the
that
military
Soma played
anymore.
was
Nah, you just keep up with the game while you're
He
in the
knew that
military
if-
and then you
if
just come
Bisu
back and you
has
fucking
any
top it
openings
off.
at all at the start, an
Oh
all-in
my
like
God.
that will end the game.
So insane.
Yeah.
I cannot
it
believe
was,
it.
A good plan. At the end of the day, he kind of like blocked the probe from scouting him, and
Yeah,
you know,
I think as
the
soon as he
choke
healed the
was
probe, he was like, I know I
further away
won.
from the Nexus
He's
than
not going to
some other
scout
maps
this.
do,
He's
so
not going to
take
see
stuff
it.
like
It's
that
going to be
into
too late.
consideration. Always something you got to think about when you're going to get rushed. Like, are you going to be able to pull your workers quickly enough to block whatever's happening? And unfortunately for Bisu, he was not. He came really close to seeing this. If he had seen those, if he had walked a little bit further forward and seen those, he might have been able to block this because that's such a suspicious place to put Zerglings. Look at how close.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he was so fast pulling that back here as well. But then speed finishes, and it's like, uh-oh, this is bad.
Yeah, you need to basically have the probes pulled as you see the lings coming down. Protosses can survive this, by the way, but when that first cannon goes down, you're so destabilized, and it's so easy to reinforce. You can run all the way into the main and kill, or in this case, you know, he realizes the Zealot is going to be overextended, and once the natural falls, there's just no way to recover. The shortest and most brutal game ends this best of 7, and Soma is moving on. Soma could become the next ASL champion. He'll be facing
100%.
another Protoss who is
100%.
definitely going to be on the lookout for rushes like this in that finals. It's going to be Snow.
First game and last name were all
Very
rushes.
different Protoss players. Snow is a late game grinder in the matchup. So I think we're going to see longer games there. Should be an insanely good finals. Snow versus Soma. I thought
Both of them
into the season, one
deserve
of these guys would
fucking
win.
championships.
박상현 선수와 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다.
They both deserve it.
Congratulations.
Either way, it's a good thing, no matter who wins. But I want Soma to win, to prove a point about the military. That it will not destroy your career. Don't fear the military. Don't think that it's going to be over. You can come back, because most people just think that it's over, so they never try. Right? Just like people used to think, oh, once you're like 25, you're too old to play video games. It's like, no, man. Some of these guys are like 37, 38. Like, they're older than
I was
me.
really determined to move on.
They're freaking parents, and they're still competing.
The fact it happened, I'm really happy. It was tough, wasn't it? There was a point you were behind score-wise. You took the first set, but then gave up 2 maps. Losing games that you were ahead in. Being behind in points. How did you decide to continue? When it comes to the second set, I thought I had won, so I just went into autopilot.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
suddenly ended
it's
up
so
losing it
unfortunate when
all,
that
and it didn't
happens.
affect my mentality. I said to myself, don't think too much of it. I just didn't think about the games that have already been played and continued on. A tremendously demanding match just unfolded. The build you chose on the 7th set, the very last set, was that something you had prepared? I did not prepare for the 7th set. I knew if it went to the 7th game, I would lose. So I had to give it all in the previous games.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. If it goes to game 7, someone's
For
not
the
going to
7th
win.
set, I actually just got this build today. I tried it, and it seemed there wasn't an answer for it. Once the 6th set ended, I thought about what to use. And this build came to mind. Your winning gambit came through in what you showed in that match. You are now entering the grand final. In the previous one you played, unfortunately, you did not manage to win, instead becoming a runner-up. It's been 5 years. What are you going to show the fans in that grand final? Please tell us how determined you are. Honestly, when I went into my first finals and got 2nd place, I did not regret it, because I knew I would advance to the finals again very soon. But 5 years had to pass. Given it took 5 years, I will prepare very diligently and repay you back with a cool match.
2 of those years were military
And the
service,
colleagues who
so
helped you, as well as the
you know,
fans who
it's
supported
kinda
you,
skewed.
of whom there are surely
it's not really
very
5
many.
years. It's
They
only
put all their heart
5
into making you
seasons,
successful. It's
2
your
and a
time to
half
thank them.
years.
Firstly, to my fans, thank you for coming here to cheer for me and our members from the SSU University team. I would also like to thank my wife, who always makes sure I have a comfortable environment to practice in.
Sucking
and for
my
helping me
dick!
practice
I mean,
since
what?
Paralyze, Mini, Best. Thank you so much. And Calm. You know, I didn't know how to make use of Devourers on Roaring Currents. And Calm showed me how to do it last night. If it wasn't for him, I would probably have lost. So I'd very much like to thank Calm.
That was such a crazy game.
All right. Congratulations.
God, there's always such crazy
Best of luck in
games.
achieving your dream on the grand final stage.
Hell yeah.
Guys, let's send Soma a round of applause. Congratulations.
So next week we will have Soma versus Snow and Bisu versus Barracks for the runner-up.
Man, it was really cool to share this round of 4 with you guys. I had a lot of fun. kind of a tragic death there for Bisu at the end, but you know, Ling all-ins are part of the game. You've got to be really careful.
Problem with people that go like Mini, who's always Nexus first.
That's insane.
That's why the rotation of the meta exists.
Now, Soma versus Snow in this finals, like, very, very different stylistically. Whereas Soma and Bisu are kind of close in that. They're both really good at opening and everything in the early game. Snow really is someone that I think about as maybe having the best late game Protoss versus Zerg. I would say some things like, for instance, I think he'll win Roaring Currents, but I think he might have a harder time against some of these insane Hydra busts that Bisu ended up holding. So, however that will change the series, I think it's really hard to predict, but I have in my gut that Snow is a bit better than Soma, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think Snow is supposed to take this, but there were so many ASLs he was supposed to take.
Yeah.
He's going to be going after his ultimate demon as far as matchup goes. ZVP has always been where he's been the weakest.
Yeah, because Reavers are best against Terran.
PvP,
They're not exactly they're not bad against Zerg, but they're better against Terran.
Any Protoss out there.
Massively better.
But PvZ, even though he's really, really good and he's made huge strides and huge improvements, this has been the matchup that has basically locked him out of the finals before. Now he's in the finals.
He's been
against
kicked
an
out by
extremely
Sulky
formidable Zerg player.
3 times.
Yeah, and it definitely could go either way. Now, please remember, this isn't like 1 week from now. It's a little bit longer than that, right? I think it's like the finals is like 9 days after you might be watching this the day it's released, like something like that?
10 days, I think,
okay.
10 or maybe even 11. So we had this break with Chuseok, which is basically one of the 2 biggest holidays in Korea. So we had this break before, so we had like a whole bunch of days off. We have about the same number of days off again. We always have a huge break before the, after the semifinals, before the finals. So we're going to have another period of time off where you guys can tweet at us and come into our streams and annoy us and ask us when it's going to come out. It is going to be 10 days from now. So don't forget.
So the 26th. And then it'll be 48 hours after the 26th before the VOD comes out.
Of the year before we get ready for 2026.
Scary to think that's just around the corner. What the fuck? How is 2026 just around the corner?
Go to the Patreon, patreon.com/ASL.
True, Patreon for the win.
Guys. We're going to see you for the finals. This may be one of the best ones ever. Bye-bye.
Hell yeah. Oh, but yeah, we're probably going to call it here, guys. Oh, that was a good ending. That was a good ending, right? So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow, as always. Tomorrow, debut of the new YouTube channel. Yay! Yeah, so, remember, thanks for being you. Thanks for being awesome. And, of course, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. Alright, who we rating today? Let's go. There we go. We got one. All right. Get your wheels ready. Peace.